Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'll give everybody a minute to get in here. Thanks for being here. Coffee and Art in the Morning live. And I might need to turn off that overhead light if I'm going to get glare. But anyway, thanks everybody for stopping in, hanging out. And I'll go ahead and tweet. Let's see. I did a little video. Hi, Julie. Hi, Lorenzo. I did a little video of this and posted it about a minute long on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's see. Where's my little coffee cup? There we go. Link in profile. And y'all know I always come on a little early to do some saying good mornings. Hi, Juanita, Darla, Pam, Crabby Abby, Crabby Abby, Crabby Abby. That's cute. Oh my gosh. Hi, Pam, Darla, Pamela, and Pam. Anybody else I missed coming in? That's a cute name. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Crabby Abby. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to talk about how I made this. I'll show the other two that I made as well, and a little bit of what the base of it is. And let me see about turning that overhead light. I think that might be better. Let's test that out. There we go. I guess that's okay. Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing? How's your weekend? Angie, Darla. I think I said hi to Julie. Anybody else I missed? Yes, I did make it, Lorenzo. Let's see. Y'all, let me know. I have the auto light on. I turned the auto focus off, but the auto light adjust is on. If it starts doing weird things, I'll turn it off. So we'll just wait and see. Yes, I made it out of, here we go. It's like poster board. Yeah, see, it's flashing. Well, it's trying to be good. It's trying to make it so we don't have to, we'll see how it goes. So it's made out of just poster boards glued together, cut down and glued together. And I'll show it more in depth in here in a little bit. And I also have made these two, and I'll flip through these as well. Are we too close? I want to be close enough for you to see the details. So I think you can see from top to bottom. We're just cutting it off just a little. I can back out. Let's just see what happens if I back out one. How's that? Let's see. Let's get my whole desk in there. Let's go over this way. There we go. Yeah, maybe that's better right there. And so got this, and this one. So I'll show them all. Thank you guys. And I did figure out my working on my owl. I mean, my, I was looking for my lemur, samurai lemur. So I'm working on getting, okay, I think I'm going to have to readjust the light. Let's see. And I'm working on another drawing. So I might work on that. We'll see how it all goes. We'll see how it goes today. So hello, everyone. Even if I can't pronounce your name, hello, good morning. Hi Beth, how's it going? I did drive by your chat. I don't even remember. It was over the weekend. Saturday night? Was it Saturday night? I stopped in. I didn't chat, but I stopped by to see what you were doing. You were doing that bingo. I think that was Saturday night. I stayed for a few minutes. And Faithful here, Faithful Mass. I can't see alert today. Our grid is offline. I have been since 4:30. Of course, my battery. Oh, Faith, please. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. Don't stay on here if you're using up your battery. That's, you know. Hi, Bacola. How's it going? I hear my cats out there running around. Good morning. Good morning, Carla. One of our encourager girls there. And there's Lady True North Jan, who I have really the best journal ever made, was my Cadfael. My Cadfael journal? Oh my gosh. So, yeah. Let's see. Let me mute Mom and Denise talking there. We're on a group chat. We always talk every morning. Let's see. Elaine. Who else am I missing? Oh, I thought I turned that off. Well, we'll just listen to it ding. Domestic Fox, good morning. Good morning, everybody. So if you are just joining us for the first time or you're watching the recording, I always spend a little bit of time. My official time is 9 a.m. Eastern every Monday and Wednesday, and the occasional Friday is an impromptu, sometimes a Saturday. But my official times are Monday and Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. But I do come on a little early to talk and say hi to everybody. And it is a chat show. There's a lot of chatting going on. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I just watched a little bit of it, Beth. It was fun to hear, watch you guys doing that. That was kind of fun. Good morning, Julie Topaz. This is one of my other mods. Happy Marvelous Monday to you too. So let's see. And then Lady True North Jan said, thank you, Miss Dee Dee. Hope the album is staying. It is staying together, but I do keep it wrapped in its protective cover, in its faux parchment. Well, I guess it really is real parchment, but I keep it wrapped. Dee, good morning. Anybody else I'm missing? Thanks, everybody, for stopping in. And yeah. So did anybody do anything fun or interesting or exciting over the weekend? Yes, I did see that. Mary's doing another art hop on Friday. Do you know the topic, Pacola? I did not catch the topic. I drove by Mary's over the weekend. Friday, was it? Maybe it was the same night I drove by Beth's. But anyway, I did not see the topic that Mary's going to have on her Friday art hop. And so, yeah, I missed that. So if you know, let's see. There's Lady True North Jan. I want to move into Jan's house. Just kidding. Let's see. She spins Juanita, spun, piled some awesome yarn, and drew 2 pics. I saw that, Juanita. I saw a little bit of that on Instagram. If y'all don't follow She Spins on Instagram, she shows her yarn and her spinning, and she's been drawing. Is that the cat making that howling noise? I don't know. Maybe it's something outside. I just heard sounded like the cats were in a tiff. Okay. Pacola said Mary's hop is art along using our favorite media. Oh, okay. So it's just whatever, right? Just use whatever. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. She's gonna have 10 people again. Pacola, do you know? You may not know. I think she had 10 people last time in the hop. Let's see. Pam says she made peach cherry jam, devil's food, peanut butter. Y'all are cooks. Y'all are bakers and cooks. Oh my. Let's see. Yeah, and favorite topics and tools. Yeah. And that's this coming Friday. No, is that this Friday? Oh, that's 2 weeks from now. Isn't that 2 weeks from this Friday, or a week, another week? 2 weeks from this past Friday, in 2 weeks. I think it's on September 11th, I think Anne said. There's one of the cats coming to investigate what's going on. At least they're not tumbling and rolling, and they don't really fight. They kind of wrestle, They kind of wrestle. What is it there, baby girl? You just going to lay there and let mama pet you? All right. September 11th. Okay, thanks, Pacola. Yeah, that's Friday. That's a Friday. So that's like 2 weeks away. So, yeah. All right, I'll leave you alone, little Miss Touch Me Not. You want to at least bring your head down here so we can see you. Come down here so we can. You're hanging on to something. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's see. Hi, Kalora Becky. How you doing? Good morning. Yes, I know, Carla. It is. She is. Let's see. Deborah said, I've been watching your videos. Subscribe to your channel. I've visited. Oh, okay. Thank you. Just click the little subscribe button. Thank you. Hi, G. Good to see you, everybody. And thanks, everybody, all the lurkers, everybody that's hanging around. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah. I didn't really do anything. I worked on this project. This is my Leonardo portfolio. I already showed you these other ones, but I'll show them again. But I worked on my Leonardo Da Vinci portfolio. And I'm going to do a flip. I'll talk about the things I used and how I made it. I get people say, well, why don't you make it on the show? Well, because this took over 6 hours. My stream's only about 3.5 to 4, and I can't make this on stream. Plus, I'm running around looking for things, and it's a little difficult to try to make this on a stream because it's so involved and time consuming. But I will go through it and show you everything. I'll show you the base, what it started as, what I painted, and what I added to it. It's not hard to make one. It's just time consuming. All these are. They take some time to do. Oh, are you buffering? Is anybody else buffering? I don't see any indication. And I am hardwired, so there shouldn't be any Wi-Fi buffering issues for me. So, yeah, that wouldn't work, Carla. I couldn't do a 6-hour stream without chat. No, yeah, I can't do that. I can barely make videos without being live as it is. Hi, Janet. Yeah, I like to talk to you guys and interact with you. If I'm making a video, I want to be talking with you guys. But to make up one of these and take 6 hours, that's really. Thank you, Bacola. Thank you, Bacola. It's very time consuming to make them. And, then this, and I say 6 hours, I probably stopped to eat in between. I just kind of guesstimated the actual time I worked on it. But yeah, it is time consuming. Hi, Sherry Ann Iffy. Hi, Flo. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, that's little Malibu. She decided to take a nap on my desk. When I start moving things around, she won't put up with it. She'll go lay on the floor by my feet, or right next to me. She doesn't lay by my feet because I'm spinning my chair around all the time. But she stays real close, about 2 feet away. Hi, Nancy. Good to see you. Good to see you. So if y'all want to tell anything else y'all did over the weekend, are you taking any classes? Are you, did you find any new YouTubers? What did y'all do that was creative this weekend? Juanita was spinning. Um, I've told y'all the story before, but when uh, I always thought of spinning is like the spinning wheel, like what Juanita does. And back, oh, I don't know, early 80s maybe, I'd hear all my friends at work saying, well, we're going spinning. We're going to go spinning. Maybe it was late 80s. I don't even remember. The years just kind of roll into one another. But anyway, they go, we're going to go spinning after work. You want to go? And I go, what? No, I don't. What are you talking about spinning? Well, I don't know for how long. Maybe it was a month. I don't remember how long it was. But for the longest time, I thought when they were talking about spinning, they were talking about spinning wheels like what Juanita does. And they were talking about the exercise, the bikes, the spinning. Ah. I always find out these new things the embarrassing way. So I thought that they were spinning like what Juanita does. And let's see, who else is here? Flo, I said hi to Flo. Did a little work on a pocket portrait, as I call them, ATC size. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Let's go back up there. It goes by fast. A pocket portrait. So, in other words, portraits ATC size. Is that what you mean, Becky? Oh my gosh. I have to draw things big enough where I can see see the details. I mean, I can paint little things like collage painting things, but if I had to do a portrait, I don't know if I could do a portrait that size, that tiny. I don't think I could do a portrait that small. Let's see. So Sue that's creative. You're diamond painting, and that's very chill too. I just don't have time to do them. I've done a couple, but they're very time consuming. If I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna have a sketch pad in my lap or a book. Yeah. So, but that's creative. That's fun. What is Jean's bug? Okay, I have no idea. Somebody's asking about Jean's bug. I don't know what that is. Oh, oh yeah. Well, that's true, Becky. If it's painful to work big, then work small. You got to do what you got to do. Oh. Okay. So somebody was asking. Whoops. Julie was asking. Yeah, Jean is a friend in the box, and she knits. Yeah, she knitted me an illusion quilt. Well, I want to say quilt blanket. It's like a big blanket, and it has a Mona Lisa on it, and you only can see the Mona Lisa when you tilt it. Like when you turn the blanket sideways, she shows up. Now, mind you, Jean is like 90% blind, and she knitted an illusion Mona Lisa. I don't even know how she did it, but yeah, she's an amazing art. She's an artist, knitter. She does all kinds of things, and for being so sight impaired, she does awesome. Let's see. Oh, Carla's asking you, Sue, if that was your first diamond painting. Again, guys, if you're just joining us, you're just popping in, or you're watching lurking. I always come on usually about 8:30 before 30 minutes or so before my stream to say hi and chat. So if you don't like the chat, just slide that little bar or come back in a few minutes. I did do an interview with Gary Shipman, who did the Titan comic. I did that on Friday. It was only like a 40 minute, I forget exactly, little interview with Gary Shipman on his new book, Titan Mouse. And so if you did not watch that, go back on Friday and watch that. It's just so nice to meet new artists. And that's one of the reasons I got StreamYard, was so I can have guests, so I can have multiple guests if I want, but at least so I can have other people on the show, visiting, chatting, talking about what they do. Because I love to promote you guys. And if you want to be a guest on the show, just email me and let me know. Here we go. Painting Girl emailed me and said, did that go through? Did that go through? There it is. Painting Girl emailed me and said, oh, I'll come on. I said, okay, well, when can you come on? And she never answered me. So Painting Girl, if you watch this, you have to let me know when you can come on because I have to schedule it. Becky says, I watched Gary's channel live the other day. So good. I know he's an amazing artist, isn't he, Kalora, Becky? Yeah. Gary Shipman. Just if you go on YouTube and look up Gary Shipman, he's easy to find. Oh, there we go. And there's my link to, or there's Pacola put in the link to my interview with Gary from Friday. And he's just such a nice person. And he's so creative and an awesome artist. And he's also the one that I did the lemur drawing, a little line art for him to ink whenever he has time. Right now he's working on other things, so whenever he has time, the little collab lemur. So let's see, and I've been noticing that the live chat, other than like there was a problem with that nature journaling one, but other than that, it seems like the live chats don't appear for like a day or two. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if they have to run through some algorithm bot system thing before they'll let them go live. And because they're so long, my videos our live shows are 3 to 4 hours. I don't know why. They usually end up showing up. The chat does, but it's like sometimes a day or two later. So I don't understand why. Oh, thank you, Angie. Sub to Gary. Thank you. Yeah. And he is going to have some kind of a contest after he gets 100,000 views. And I think he's at 90,000. So when he gets to 100,000 views, so he only needs 10,000 views. So subscribe to him and go watch a few of his videos. You will not be disappointed in his art. I'm telling you. And watching him draw and ink. So, yeah. Let's see. Yes. Yes, Kitty. Oh, okay. So Lorenzo says that he has a drawing of Spider Gwen that Shipman's daughter drew, and she's quite talented in her own right. Yeah, I saw her. She was on one of the auctions. I saw her on an auction. I think it was actually the auction where I bought something from Gary myself. I think that was the same auction. I don't know how often she's on his auctions, but yeah, that's true, Lorenzo. His daughter is on there drawing, Gary shows some of her stuff too. Let's see. Hi, Nichols. Good morning. Cat and paste. So, yeah, cat paste. My pencils are put away. That was so funny. That tickled me to no end that day. Okay, Pacola, get your tea. And so we'll get started here in just a minute. I did tweet already, just so that, but I did post. I did post over the week or yesterday. I did post a 1-minute video on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, a little quick flip through this to entice new people. Y'all that are here all the time are here all the time anyway, but entice people that may not know the channel or you guys and the fibs, the friends in the box, to come and visit the channel. Let's see. So if I miss saying hi to you, it's not because I just missed it. Make sure if you are talking to me during the show, you put it in caps. I won't think you're yelling at me. Y'all know I was looking for my samurai Viking lemur stuff when Janet and I did a show. I think that was last Thursday, wasn't it, Janet? I streamed a lot last week. And so I am working on a drawing that I'm going to probably make for a thank you for September. We'll see how it goes. But I do have it sketched out on some big paper here. See if I can put it over here. So I'm getting it sketched out. It's going to be a samurai owl. So it's going to be a samurai owl. That's all I'm going to show. There's a preview. And so we'll see how that goes. Let's see. It was Thursday, Janet, that we were on. We need to maybe we need to do a Thursday guest show where we come on, Janet, and we invite people. At least, there'll be us. If nobody else wants to come on, we'll have each other. We'll have each other, Janet. Sip of juice here. Let's see. Thank you, Flo. Let's see. Carla is talking about, I don't know what's a DP break. I don't know what that is, Carla. Get you back in the flow. I went too big and square in my. I don't know what it. Diamond painting. Oh, okay, diamond painting. Sorry, it took me a minute. Janet said, "I'm game." Yeah, we could do a show, and it could be a Thursday guest show. We could have guests on Thursdays, Janet. Oh, we're trying to get back where you're. Okay, all right. Get your 5 dozen ears of corn. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, Pam. Thank you. Dr. Pepper. I'm not sure what the Dr. Pepper reference is, Juanita. Colleen, though, was saying that there was a Dr. Pepper shortage. What is that? She's stocked up, though. Yeah. I don't drink Dr. Pepper. If I have any sodas, it's one of those little cans of Pepsi. I don't drink much soda. I'm a coffee and juice drinker. I don't drink a lot of sodas. But sometimes if I get a weather barometric pressure headache or something, sometimes an extra dose of caffeine, a little mini Pepsi is usually good. I guess so. Julie G. Oh, you're doing a diamond painting of Dr. Pepper? Oh no, so okay. I'm mixing up the DP with Dr. Pepper and diamond painting. Okay. Jennifer's having iced coffee. Oh, I saw that Starbucks has a new, what was it? I think I took a picture of it. I'm going to have to try this. This looks so good and fruity. Let me see. I think I have a picture of it. It looks good. I'll tell you all the name of it. Hang on. Let me find it. Here it is. It's called Star Drink. Kiwi, star fruit, coconut, I think. It's called Star Drink. And it's like a fruity drink. That looks good. I'm fruity. I'm a fruity kind of gal. We're the wing nuts and we're a little fruity. Hi, Claire. Chris, Mac. Is that Chris or Cries? I don't know if it's supposed to be Chris or Cries. Welcome, everybody. All right. Well, I'm going to have to just do this on top of the cat here. So, all right. So first off, I started with this one. Sorry, baby. Let Mama get this. Let Mama get this out. Here you go. Rest your little head on there for a minute. Okay. So I did this. I covered one of my Bristol board sketch pads. I covered it with a build. Like this is chipboard, and I'd cut the chipboard out. And if it, Pacola or anybody, Julie, anybody, if it starts, I left the auto light adjusting on. But if it starts fluctuating too much, I'll turn it off. But because I'm going to be going back and forth to white paper, to colors, I thought maybe if I left the automatic light adjuster on, it would help. So we'll see what happens. It's fruity with caffeine. Oh, okay. Oh, that's even better, Carla. Carla says a fruity drink with caffeine. So it's like a fruity coffee. Okay. I'm going to have to get one of those. It just looks so refreshing, It looks so refreshing. Hi, Kathy. There's Kathy Arbor. Good morning. So this one I built out of chipboard pieces. So I just cut the chipboard out. I painted each of these individually. Each one of these are individual little pieces that I cut and painted and stenciled on. And then this right here is a faux Let me show you the book. It's an old one, but I know they're still around. But I just happen to have this one. This is kind of old, an old Dover coloring book. This one is from 1972. Look at the pages are all yellowed. So it's like a faux, like a glassine type, and they're clear. And this one's all yellowed. I don't know if you can see that. Look, there you can see it. Look, this was old. And I've used a few pages over the years out of it. And but you can still, like, here's one where you can make with 4 pages, you can make this big circle here. And it's like faux stained glass. And so I've used it over the years, but I cut one out and I watercolored it so it would be kind of not perfectly colored in. See how it looks kind of watery? Make it kind of look like stained glass. And then what I did was outlined it with the liquid pearls so that it looks like it's got stained glass leading. There, you can see it there. Stained glass leading around it. So, yes, baby, I know Mama's moving around. And I got my Jane Davenport pin to show you too. Let's kind of set that over. Well, the cat's in my place where I usually set things. Okay, let's see. See, it wants to flash. I might have to just turn off the auto light. We'll see. Okay. There's Chicken Pot Pie Society. I love that name. I don't know what the cola say. Oh my gosh. is Chicken Pot Pie? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. She said something, but Cola's laughing at her. Anyway, that's just such a cute name. Chicken Pot Pie Society. And so this is all built up. And it's on, like I said, one of my sketch pads. And I did do the edges silver. And so anyway, I just thought that this was a fun build with chipboard. And then the little dots are liquid pearls in silver. And I've used some of the gold and copper one. Here, let me pull a couple of them over here. So they're called liquid pearls. And you can get them in every color. This one's a Ranger one. This one is, I don't even know who makes this one. I don't know. But anyway, different companies make them. And what they do is just make little pearl dots or outlines. But that's what I did on this one. Okay, so let's move that one to the side. And I wanted to show you, this is what the base of these are. And it's just like poster board. And you can make them any size. I didn't go for a certain size. I just kind of folded it in half and then cut it like, so this is the size it is. I'll tell you. Let me get my ruler. But you can make them any size you want. You can make them small, large, whatever size you want here. The full sheet is my clear ruler here. Let's see. I can't see the numbers. Where are you? There we go. Okay, so this one is about 20 inches and then folded in half. So it makes it 10 and a half and folded by 14 and a half. Okay. So when it's folded, it's about 10 and a half by 14 and a half. When it's opened, which you want to use the big sheet so that you can fold it and not have, you automatically make a book right? So then you want to just fold it. And what I do is glue it. So this is some just not glued sheets here. I'll move it over here. And so I've got 3 of them here. And you can put as many together as you want. And when you glue them together, and sometimes they're not even, and I'll trim them. Sometimes I just paint over it. But this one, and most of them, I think, have the same. So this is glued. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 of those sheets glued together. And it's a little wrinkly, but it makes it real stiff when you use like a tacky glue. So that's what I use. I've been using Eileen's tacky, and I use a lot of it. I completely covered the whole thing. And you can see it warps it a little, but I don't care about that because I'm going to layer so many things on top of it. A little warping, it just gives it a little character. Plus, I'm going to put papers and paint and all kinds of things on it. So you're really not going to see that little bit of, you can see it there, a little bit of warping when you're done. So, and it makes it not, it's real, double the thickness. It's double the thickness of a poster board. So it's nice and thick. So what I've been doing is making a frame on the first inside page of, I think I did it on all of them. So what I do is I just take my cutting mat here, and put it behind the first page like that. And I think on most of them, not on the Leonardo one, I had to do a little special placement for it because I wanted 2 pictures in there. But for the most part, I just take my ruler and draw, and just draw inside and just make a frame. Again, you can make this any size you want. And then I take my X-Acto knife or my, blade here. And with a metal ruler, don't do this. Don't do that cutting with your plastic ruler. You don't want to know how I know. Use a metal ruler when you cut against it. Okay. And then I have a little frame in there. So that is the base. That's the base. I'm going to try to take you through the steps just so you can see. Hi, Eileen. How's it going? Good to see you so early in the morning. Yeah. Well, you don't have to make this, Barbara. Chicken pot pie society. You don't have to make it right now. That's why we're recording. Okay. So that's the base. All right. So now let's move that. And we got our lighting here again. Again, I have the light adjusting automatic on so that when we're going back and forth to different colors and everything, it should adjust. Plus, I got a white cat sitting here. It's probably throwing off the lighting. All right. So then the next one I made was this one. I'm going to show you them in order here. And I'll explain, how I made this one when we get to it. I just thought it would be a way to review how to make it, what to do, and how to make them. But I can't spend, because they take about 6 hours. And so if you want to, it's just too much time to do a live video on the whole thing. Okay. All right. So the first one I did was this one. Let me just go ahead and move these out of the way for a minute. So it sits down here. I got my iPad here and another little book there. Got all this other stuff there. So so that's what it started out with, just what you just saw, the white poster board. If you have any questions, put them in caps. Let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. So here's the front and here's the back. And what I did is I first started by painting it. So somebody on Facebook said, oh, no paint. Well, yeah, there's a lot of paint. All the white is painted. Every bit of it. So everything that you saw that was white has been painted, depending on the color of the background. In this case, it was black. In the Leonardo one, it started out with a base of brown. And when I get to that one, I'll explain more about the details of how I did each one. Okay, so this is the base is painted in black. And this particular one has some stenciling. Oh, no, that's some stamps. Those are the little Japanese stamps. And then just some dots. Just some little, like with the back end of my paintbrush. The back end of the paintbrush, just dip and dot. And then some of it has the liquid pearls. But the cover here just has painted dots. This is a piece of paper. And then these fancy papers are from Stamperia. And I don't know how often Zandra, Scraps to Beauty, gets restocked on the Stamperia papers, but that's what the brand is. If you want to check Zandra's Paint and Paper Studio shop out, check that out to find if she has them in stock. She gets them in and out of stock depending. She sells out of her stuff really quick on her shop. Paint and Paper Studio, Scraps to Beauty Zandra on YouTube and Instagram. So, but that's where these papers are from. And then these right here, I'm going to just go through and show you each thing. Y'all, is this good here, or do you want me to zoom in? You tell me. I can zoom in if you think I need to, or I can just kind of do this. The reason I'm kind of far away is so that when I open up the book, you can see the whole thing. Oh, thank you, Janet. Right there. Paint and Paper Studio. So then what I did is just made pockets. Now, most of everything I did, what I was going to say is these are napkins, decorative napkins. Let me just pull one out. Let's see, do I have one handy? There we go. So a decorative napkin, and whether you do it on a strip, a pocket, or just a little individual piece, what I do is, first off, when you use decorative napkins, you want to peel off the 2 layers that are usually on every decorative napkin. And you can just take a piece of tape and stick it on and peel it, and it'll start to peel those backs off. But you want to take those backs off of your decorative napkin. Well, these flowers right here are from the decorative napkin. So what I'll do is, after I peel off the backing, I'll take a piece of cardstock and I'll put glue stick down, and then I'll stick the piece down, and then I'll fussy cut it out, because you don't want to try to fussy cut out this flimsy little napkin. You'll be there all day. So put it on, glue it down with a glue stick on some chipboard, cardstock, and then fussy cut out. So, hi, Norma. Good to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Anybody else I missed? There's Jill. I know I'm missing people coming in. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. So, then I fussy cut out, and almost everything that you're going to see, I have outlined in either gold, copper, silver, and some metallic. And how I do that is I just put some metallic paint. I just use craft paint. Just put some craft paint in a little tray. I just put it down on a tray, and I just take my finger and pick some up. And now, of course, I would have done that before I glued this down. Once you glue it down, you can't run your finger along it. So I would just pick it up like this and just run my finger along. And that's how I edged everything. So I just edged everything with my finger, running along the edge. Then you got to set this aside to dry. See, this is why a lot of it takes some time. So you got to let that paint dry, which is kind of thick. It's kind of thick on this because you put it on with your finger. And then you got to set that aside and let it dry while you continue to work on other parts. I also put glitter around these flowers here, and these are other fussy cut out flowers. This is a piece of decorative paper right here that just folds over to the other side. And then this is from the Stamperia paper. This is one of the card cutouts from the Stamperia paper. This is just an old piece of, I don't know even where I got this. It's some old kind of glittery paper that I've had forever. And so I've made these different pockets. So you can see there's different pockets here of where you can put your ephemera. And you can store it, or you can use it for whatever. I just wanted to make some with specific themes. And in this case, it was Asian themed. And again, each one of these little pockets is outlined with the gold on my finger, let it dry, and then I just use my tacky glue, the Eileen's tacky glue, and glued down the 3 sides. And you got to kind of hold it and let it set up a little bit. So that's the front and back of this one. Okay, maybe I need to turn off the auto light. Let's see here. Hang on, guys. See if I can just adjust it without. There we go. That's not too bad. So I'm going to flip through this. Oh, and then I also have a little, I just call these little rag flags, and it's just little pieces of ribbon on a paper clip. There's a little dimensional dragonfly that I put glitter on. This right here is a napkin. So I'm just going to go through and show you the different things that I used and how I did it. Yeah, exactly. In the Joss paper. Okay, so on the inside, this is all the napkin. And again, this piece right here is what do you call it? Covered. I keep wanting to say chipboard, but it's just cardstock. This is a piece of cardstock with the napkin on it. There we go. And then this is all paint. This is black paint. And again, these flowers are all cut out of napkins that have been glue stick down and then fussy cut out. Okay, and then on the inside here, I just have different little pockets and little packs of the ephemera. And even stuck one of these napkins in here. You can put your Joss paper, whatever. Got my little clips here. I've got some of the little Stamperia die cuts in here. And then this right here is a ribbon. You can get this, at your craft stores, but you can buy pieces of different kind of rosette ribbons, and that just matched perfect for this. So I just made a couple of different layers of pockets. Again, here's a small pocket, and it's the same thing. It's a piece of cardstock covered with napkins. And then again, we have the pocket up here. Here's some of the die cuts. Here's a little card that's an Asian card there. Some more little tags. I hope y'all are able to see this well. And then on this side, what I did, here's a coin right there. I want to try to let y'all see the details, but I want to keep it far enough back so you see the whole thing. So there's a little coin there with a little ribbon through it, some more of the napkins. And then this is just a piece of stem that I put glitter on and kind of just had it fold over because this is one of those cutouts I was talking about. Okay, and then all this is just the dotted. I'm sorry, baby. The dots with just gold paint. Okay, so you can see here, there's our little cutout. And then here I colored or painted the whole thing with gold metallic paint. And then I put on metallic, pink metallic pearls, liquid pearls. So they're raised. This is all raised on this one. Okay, I put washi tape around this edge. Again, more of the, you can see the more of the rosette ribbon there. Another pocket, and these pockets are individually made. I make them each by themselves with cardstock covered with the napkin and then glued down to make the pockets. They're each individual made because, you just got this big open portfolio with nothing in there. Thank you, Norma. And again, this is one of the papers from Stamperia right there. And the little rosettes, I cut those for the corners like that. Little rosettes in there. And then let's see what else. Oh, these right here are the stamps from, what's the name of the company? That Patty Tolly Parrish has her stamps at. This one's not, I don't think this one's a Patty Tolly Parrish, but it's from the company where she has sells her stamps. Then some more little pieces of paper stamped and then cutouts. So art foamies. Thank you, Bacola. Art foamies. This is from the Art Foamies company. And so that's this. And on the gold, I tried to streak it all straight so it kind of looked like gold painted wood. So I wanted the streaks, in other words, I didn't go sideways when I painted it. I kept the streaks going straight down so it would look like gold painted wood. And again, Stamperia paper. Then on the next one, again, Stamperia paper and cutouts, bookmarks, and just anything. You can make your little packets. You can make your little packets of ephemera, whatever you have, whatever you like, whatever you want to put in them. I have these little pieces of paper that just kind of were kind of a crushed, I don't know. They just went, and then some of it I just put gold over. Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much, Katie, for the super chat. Oh, thank you so much. Make sure you email me your address. Let me write your name down. Make sure you email me your address, and I'll send you out a little thank you. Let me get a pen here somewhere. There's one. Thank you so much, Katie, for the super chat. You are so inspiring. Oh, thank you. Very kind. Thank you so much. I appreciate the channel support. I do try to send out thank you little prints or some little art something to the channel supporters every month. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Aw, thank you, Kalora. Thanks so much. Okay, so then you just make these little packets of whatever you want in them. I have some some kind of a rice paper stuff in here, and this is some kind of a fabricy paper, and of course just all different kinds of little. I covered a napkin here on the cardstock. And you can either keep this to use if you want to store your ephemera in these, or your special ephemera, or you just want to, you can just keep it as it is because you like it. It can be whatever you want to do. And same thing for over here. So I've got little paper clips of the different little packs of things that I want to keep. And then I just put little clusters and with some glitter on it. And again, you can see, so when you put glitter on something, you've got to set it aside and let it dry. Here's some washi tape. If you use washi tape in any of your folios or any of your artwork, your art journals, if you don't really want to use washi tape to tape anything, this is not holding this down. This is taped down by itself, and then I glued the washi tape down as a decorative piece on top of these pockets. Don't think that washi tape is going to hold these pockets down for you. It just won't work. Maybe if you glued the washi tape, but I would recommend making the pockets, gluing them down, and then putting your decorative elements on top of the pockets after the fact. Oh, thank you so much, Pacola. Thank you so much. So this is my Asian one. And again, then there's the back, and I just tucked in some of the pretty papers and made some more clusters. And then all the pages have been outlined with gold. Again, the same way, just taking the gold paint, dipping my finger in it, and running along all the edges. And it is kind of thick. So you've got to let it dry. So you got to let that dry before you can go to the next page. Of course, this one's all gold, so it's not outlined in gold. But you have to, before you can outline the next page in gold or whatever, you've got to let that dry. So there's a lot of drying steps in between. Oh, thanks, Elaine. There's a lot of drawing steps in between, but you can be doing other things while you're setting aside and drawing one thing. You could be making a pocket, or you could be making your little clusters with your napkins and letting, gluing those down, fussy cutting those out. So you can be working on other elements while you let that one dry. All right, so there's that one. Then the next one, again, with the Stamperia papers, and these are the little chipboard pieces that you could purchase separately. And again, from Xandra's shop. and I can't remember the name of this one. If you look up Stamperia though, you'll see all the different kinds. This right here is a piece of scrapbook paper that I just cut on an angle, and it had some gold in it, and I just added some more. Again, I pop dotted these up so that they stand out. They stand out from the back. So in this case, I painted the whole thing blue. Now, black, purple. Okay, I painted 3 different colors in this one. So the cover and the back, I painted blue. I used some punchinella to stencil just some random kind of design on there because I just wanted it to have a little space feel. And then this is all drawn with stickles. Just draw the star shines with stickles, which is that looks just like this, except it's glitter in there. And so I drew all that and did some little dotting in there. So that's what the cover is. And oh, thank you, Orange County, California. Welcome. Inspired me. Let's see what she says here. Huge shout outs from Orange County. You have inspired me to go out and start coloring again. I truly appreciate all your reviews that you do. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Orange County, California. And also, do you follow Sammy? Color and Chat, color with a U, because she's in the UK. Color and Chat with Sammy. Do you follow her, Orange County, California? She's an awesome color book colorist. If you do mostly color books, then follow Color and Chat with Sammy. I don't know if you do or not. So, all right. So there's that one. Yes, little wolf howling. This is a little moon chipboard, and again, there's a pocket there, so you can tuck things in. And then you have to just glue the sides that you want to keep it open. Okay. All right. Next, these are painted. The background's painted black on all this, and it's kind of the same thing. This one I splattered the stars. So again, cut out, same thing I showed you, taking your cutting mat and putting it behind with your metal ruler and your X-Acto blade and cut out the middle if you want to make a frame. And what I like about the frame is then it's front and back, and so you're framing 2 things. You're framing one side and the other. Okay. So again, pockets. This was just a little, I just like this little paper bookmark, little magnetized bookmark. And I liked it there because it's got this one's got a lot of different animal motifs kind of with it, forest kind of creatures. So just made some little paper clips. Again, I'm trying to I wanted y'all to see the details, but I want you to see the whole thing too. I just have some different little chipboard elements. I just kind of went crazy on this one with all the little chipboard elements. And again, packets of stuff that you want to keep. This right here is a piece of card. This was from a cardstock, scrapbook cardstock stack, a 4x6 stack. And so I just used that to make a pocket and then just lined it on either side with some pretty spacey scrapbook paper. And then some unicorns and just whatever. I just here's some little confetti, metallic confetti butterflies I threw in there. You put whatever you want, whatever you like. It's just, I use the themes of the Stamperia papers in these 3 cases. And so there you can see where I stickled on some more star shine, some shooting stars, and then all the little white dots are just my bucket of star splatter. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. I'm trying to pay attention to chat. Hi, Molly. If you have any questions, I want to try to answer them. Hi, Tracy. Okay. All right. So then again, you've got your cutout. So that's going to frame whatever you have on the other side. And then I just put these little chipboards in the corners here. And those are just from some kind of a scrapbook kit thing, Norma. So I already did this cover, and to see it finish is awesome cool. Thank you, Norma. Thank you so much. And then this one, of course, has got 2 shades of purple going around the edges. And I wanted to match this particular piece of scrapbook paper. I just love this piece of paper. So I tried to match the purples that were in this paper. And then I just stuck on this little glittery star, little piece of shiny confetti and little stars. And again, you can make as many pockets as you want. Then on this side, I use some Smack and Dragon papers, and Smack and Dragon is where you spray out your pretty inks, spray them out on a craft mat or some non-porous surface, and you spray the inks out, and then you just take a piece of paper, you take your paper and you smack and drag it through the ink. And this is the kind of stuff you'll come up with, depending on how many colors, what colors. And so that's what this pocket and this pocket is. Again, they're individually made pockets. Each of these are individually made. And then I just glued down some butterfly washi tape here. And then we got all the different pockets and envelopes with different papers and different just ephemera. It's your ephemera. I even kept these 3 pieces of leftover papers in here just because I like them. And here's another little pocket full of, these are those the little stack of scrapbook papers I was telling you about. And they come in, they have these different designs. So I wanted one of each in there. Some unicorns, some stars, moons. So I just paper clipped them together and just kept those in here. And again, this background's painted gold, and then I did the little star shines with the glitter. It's a little shiny. There we go. And then there's the back. So there's this one. Again, I don't remember what the Stamperia paper name for this one is, if anybody knows, but it had the little wolf and the little owls and some of the other things that you could get that matched it. And I did go around and I outlined again with my finger, or no, maybe I did these. I might have done these with a gel pen to keep them neat. But anyway, I outlined those in gold as well. All right, then take a sip of my juice. The one I worked on over the weekend, this past weekend, was my Leonardo da Vinci one. And let's see, do I need to tilt the camera down? Just, I don't want to get off the desk, but there we go. I don't know. Do y'all need me to, can zoom in? Let's see, let's try to zoom in one. See, now I cut off the top and the bottom, so I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see here. Let me put on the auto light again. I don't know if that made it better, but we'll see. All right, so I went with the Leonardo da Vinci. Now these papers are called, and I did keep the paper for this one. Okay, so this one is Codex, Leonardo Codex. That's the name of this one, and this one is Ciao paper, and then it also some of the Stamperia Carta di Riso. So these are the two. This one, again, I got these from Xandra's shop. So this one is a Stamperia, and this one is a Ciao paper. And so these are the papers that I use to make the. I should just put this in the portfolio. That's the one I made. And I did do a little 1-minute video over the weekend just to give you a little preview of this. So if y'all have any questions, put it in caps. Hi, Tanya. I know I'm probably missing people. Kathy, Gail. All right. So in this case, I started by painting all the covers black. And I was going to show you just a little demo of this because just so you can see here, where's mine? Here we go. A little piece of cardstock. And it's just like 110 weight cardstock that I make all the pockets and everything with. Let me get a piece of wax paper here. So before I go into the book, so how I did this whole cover, which I showed y'all a little while ago, what it looks like unpainted. What I did is I took, no, I did this. I started with brown. Did I say black? I meant brown. I started with brown. Let me get, let me find some here. I painted everything with brown. And then I got to get my black. Okay. And let's get a little bowl. All right. And I used almost a full jar of brown to paint this whole folio, the base. Okay. So, but there should be enough in here to do this little sample. So just so you know that it takes quite a bit of paint if you're going to paint the whole thing, especially if you're doing it one color, which is what I started with. All right, so I started by just painting the whole book brown. And I kind of tried to keep it all going the same direction to kind of keep it like a wood grain. And I wanted it kind of dark, so you got to kind of, you know, go over it a couple times like this to get that wood grain in there. So again, this is why these things take 6 or more hours to make, these portfolios. It's a labor of love to make one of these books, guys. You don't just, you know, if you're making it this size. If you're making them smaller, of course you can, you know, there'll be less time because there's less real estate you have to cover. All right, so now let me dry this with my heat gun. So this is what I did with the whole book to start with. Then I took a baby wipe, and you're going to have to go through a lot of baby wipes too, because you want a damp baby wipe. Once it starts drying out, then this doesn't work. Okay, so then I just took a little black, and I took a little, took a baby wipe, and you just need very little to start. Okay, very little to start. And it's only going to work if the baby wipe is damp, because you don't want to cover this. You just want to kind of glaze it. And then I went over the whole thing, and you can see the baby wipe you can see the moisture in the baby wipe. And then I went over the whole thing with the black, just to make it look a little richer in color. You could also put some red in there. This is kind of the same kind of thing I did with my who makes Dilutions journals that I covered. The Dilutions journals that I covered with a faux leather. This is the same kind of thing, except I use leather colors. Okay, so now you can kind of see it kind of looks like a wood grain in there. I hope that kind of shows up. But you have to it has to have a moist baby wipe. Otherwise, if you just have a dry cloth or a brush, you're just going to cover that up. You could probably do it with a brush and make streaks. It makes I'm making her nervous. So close to the book. You could do some streaks with the brush, but it would take you a long time. You know, if you look how quick I could do that streaking with just a baby wipe. I hope it's shown. There you go. You can kind of see. So it just gives it a little more depth than just the solid brown. So I just wanted to show you that is what I did on the whole book. So the whole book is done that way. It's brown paint, and the brown paint I used was traditional burnt umber, deco art, and then black on top. Okay, I had this. I had these faux book things from Catherine Anderson. I'm pretty sure this is one of hers as well. Her doors and her vintage. It's not. I don't know what it's called. The vintage book where she has the vintage photographs and the vintage. She has butterflies and different things. Look up Catherine Anderson on Amazon for her collage books that she has for that they're her photographs, and she lets you use them. Oh, I got something in my eye. Hang on, guys. She lets you use them in your collage work. So I'm pretty sure this is one of hers here. Now, these right here are some metal pieces that I just had in my stash. These are really old, probably from early 2000. But I don't know if they're K and Company or who makes them. But you can find these kind of things. They don't have to be exact. You're going to find a similar, if you have flea markets or, just whatever. I have a whole bucket of stuff like this that I've had for, over the years of just metals and old jewelry bits and just all kinds of, here's some of the brads I use, which you'll see in a minute. Paper clips and old Tim Holtz. I think these are Tim Holtz. And then all kinds of gears and just all kinds of old jewelry pieces and metal pieces. And just, this is the kind of stuff that you can use on something like this project. So that's where I got those. This right here, these are paper chipboard. I keep saying chipboard. I mean cardstock. Cardstock weight little cut like little not wedges, hinges. And then I put my own little brads in them. Let's get the light back. I put my own little brads in them. Oh, thank you. Vintage imagery. Thank you, Bacola. Catherine Anderson's vintage imagery. I think that's out of that book. This faux book cover thing. I think it's out of Catherine Anderson's vintage imagery. I can't be certain, but I'm pretty sure it is because I have her door books too. Okay, so that's what I put there. Just glued that on. This one I put on with a pop dot to make it a little more dimensional. And then these wrap around to the back. And I pop dotted them, but I also glued them and just kind of made sure they were really secure. I put a little Leonardo da Vinci little tag there. And then these are I have multiple copies of Leonardo da Vinci's sketchbook books about his sketchbooks, reproductions of his sketchbooks in books that I've accumulated. So these are right out of the book. I have multiples of them. So this one I just kind of tore and inked the edge. This one I just completely just cut out. So that's what, okay, let's see about the lighting again, guys. Hang on. I guess it's okay. So if y'all have any questions, you have antique keys. Yeah, Tracy. See, you can just use so many things. You can make it your own. All right. And again, the size is like, what did I say? 14. It's 10.5 by 14.5 this way. But the book itself is made out of this one big sheet. That's about 21 or 21.25. So just to show the whole thing. Okay, so then you open it up. And again, it's the same thing with all the pockets. I've got to, this keeps flashing out on me and it's annoying. So let me turn the auto white balance off and kind of fix this here. Let's get it keeps flashing out different colors. All right, let's see here. There we go. That looks pretty good. So, it's still doing it. Guys, it's even with it turned off, it's still doing it. So I just might as well leave it on. Okay. Maybe I need to zoom in. Is that okay, guys, right there? Or would you rather, you want to see it from this view or do you want to see it from that view? Maybe that's better. It cuts a little bit off, but it's not too bad. I think you can see it better this way. Okay, so I had a picture of Leonardo da Vinci from one of my one of my books. So I'll show you one or two of them. And I have more than one copy of these, so don't email me. And I get these books on clearance. And I use them in my art cards and postcards and things like that. This one came with it was in a sleeve. These were all on clearance. And again, same thing. It's like his notebooks, reproductions of his notebooks. But I get these, you can get these for like $3-4. And you can do the same thing, whatever theme you want to make. Here's my thing about using images like this or papers or napkin, anything like that. I don't like making copies and saying, well, I might run out. I only have one of those, so I got to make a copy of it with the copier. I don't like to do that. That's just me. I just tear it out of the book or tear it out of the paper stack or whatever it is, and I use the originals. The same thing like Catherine Anderson, her books. If I run out of doors from Catherine Anderson, I'll buy another one of her books. I just don't make copies of it. For one, it's just I don't like the paper quality. I don't like worrying about is the ink going to run. It's too much time. It takes too much time to go do that. I would just much rather just use the original. All right, let's see here. Let's make this a little more contrast. There we go. That's better. That's better. So, all right. So I started with my Leonardo here and my Mona Lisa. Y'all know Mona Lisa is my muse. I'm going to kind of hold it up so the glare doesn't annoy us. And these papers were from Stamperia. It was like a tissue paper. So kind of like napkin thinness. It's kind of like that rice papery feel. So I glued it all down on a piece of cardstock with a glue stick and then cut them all out. So these are all this stuff is fussy cut out from the Stamperia paper. Okay. These are napkins. These are decorative napkins. Again, I edged them all in gold. I edged everything in gold before I and let it dry and then glue it down. And this is some ribbon. It's like a leaf ribbon. And this is kind of tricky to, let me show you. This is kind of tricky to glue down because it doesn't want to lay flat for you. You have to, you really got to just kind of glue it in stages. So like you'll get some, I put the Eileen's tacky glue on like 4 leaves, and then I'll hold that down and wait till it starts sticking, and then hold that down and put some more glue on the next couple, and then hold it down and let that dry. See, this is why you can't really do this project on a stream. Never mind that it took 6 hours to make the whole thing, but it's like these kind of things, these drying times that you just got to kind of set it aside for a while, or you're holding it down while you're gluing, and that took probably 15 minutes, Y'all don't want to sit there and watch me hold a piece of ribbon down for 15 minutes while I glue it down. Okay, then with the little tags, I made some tags and just put some different ribbons. The tags were from, this is from the Ciao Bella, I think these tags were. And so I just edged them with copper paint and put the little ribbons on there. And then I just have different cutouts. And the pockets, again, the pockets were all, these were napkins. If you have any questions, thank you, Kathy. If you have any questions, just ask. These dots right here were all the gold liquid pearls. So you can see I put them between these leaves. And so they're raised. You can't see it, but it's raised. So all that is raised dots, all that. And again, these are from the napkins here, or the paper, I'm sorry. It's like paper-like, feels like napkins. And I glued it all down to cardstock and then fussy cut out. Okay, here's another one I put, it's like a bookmark with the gears on it. I put a piece of sari silk in there, and then just made these little tags or cut these little tabs out, and then put more liquid pearls on to look like their metal brads on there. And so again, this has the cutout so that when you flip it over, now I'm framing Leonardo. Again, with the leaves, they just take a while to glue. A little faux keyhole. These were in the kit thing, the package, a sheet of cutouts. These were a sheet of cutouts, and I pop dotted those up, so they're on a pop dot. This one is too. I have this little mirror. This was a little, I don't know, a little vintage mirror. So I put that here. This is some, just some pretty black felt velvet lace. And I keeps wanting to flash out if I move it around too much, guys. And so all the background here is, again, it's all painted with the brown with the black swiped on it. Then I did a little stenciling in the corners. Did a little stenciling in the corners, and that was made with that stencil that looks like a stained glass window. Crafter's Workshop stencil, I think. And then, of course, it's all painted with the black and the brown. These are all individual little cutouts here. And I put the little liquid pearls on them to make it look like brads. And then all this is liquid pearls, which, again, took another bit to dry. And, yeah, so I think that's all that I can talk about on this side. Okay, then we open it up. And then on this is some decorative paper someone sent me that it's been embossed. And to me, it looked like faux leather. I did add some dark. It was just all red. And I added the brown and some black to make it look a little more worn. And then these brads right here are just the kind you punch through and open up, splay the little things. So if you do that, I had to do something to cover them up. So they're behind here. Whoops. They're behind here. So those little brads are covered up. The back side of them were the metal, the little splayed leg things of metal. And so they're all covered up on the back side. Okay. Again, everything is edged with gold, and I just take my finger and dip it in the gold or copper paint and run my finger around all the edges, and that makes the edges have that little raised gold painted edges. Again, you got to let all that dry. Got to let it all dry. Okay, so then these right here, Catherine Anderson doors, and the Last Supper painting is out of one of those Leonardo books. Let me take some of this out here. So I cut the painting in. Well, I think it was on two halves of a book of the pages of the book. So what I did is then just overlaid these doors over the sides of the painting, and then I did make sure that the doors would open and close like this. Again, these doors are from Catherine Anderson, and you can find her books for sale on Amazon. So then I just left them open like this. And then the Last Supper is behind both of these, this half and then this half. Okay. And this is, again, that papery type napkin paper, rice paper kind of thing, glued on top of a cardstock with a glue stick, and then fussy cut out. Okay. I like the shells. I like the whole shell motif and symbolism. So these were also out of Catherine Anderson's, a different book. I don't know which one, because I cut them all up and they're all in one big stack. And I've got probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 of her books, and they're all in just one big bin. These are from my Leonardo books. I just got a little paper clip and another little tag there. And I thought it was kind of appropriate with the Last Supper and the hands and the feet right before the crucifixion. I thought that was kind of good to go with the Last Supper page here. And so I did keep all those pages together. Again, another shell, and just some more card from the Ciao Bella, and yeah, some little paper clips. And so I did not do anything to the background like dots or anything. I just left, I wanted that to just look like wood, just like wood in the background. Bye, Becky. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, so then the next page is again another Leonardo painting here that I just cut in half so that it could go on either side. Some little copper book plates that I just thought went because a lot of copper. So this is the Ciao Bella paper cover. It's like everything that showed everything that was in the stack of paper. So I just cut that out and made it pockets. So that is just like the cover showing everything that's in the paper pack. And I just use that as pockets. And again, all lined with copper. And then these are olive tree napkins that I glued the napkins down on cardstock, cut them out, edge them with copper, which again, you got to let all this stuff dry. And then I put some of Leonardo's sketches on the inside of these flaps here, like that. So I just thought that that was kind of, gave it just a little more dimension. And then this right here and this right here, these are napkins, decorative napkins that are glued onto cardstock. I just wanted to add some more florally motif in there. And then there's the two paintings. Again, these are all edged with copper before I glued them down. So you can kind of see everything is edged. Every time I bring it up to the light, it wants to flash out. And then on the insides here, I have a little, I covered an envelope. I covered an envelope with some of the Ciao Bella paper. And then inside here, this is the Stamperia tissue type paper. Again, put on cardstock, glued down and cut out. And then some more bits of a sketchbook and his writing and some tags and different things that are all stuck in here. Of course, y'all know I love the element of time, so I'm going to have some kind of watch thing in there. Thanks, guys. And then some more of his sketchbook in here tucked in. And then these were part of that Ciao Bella paper pad kit thing. So there were two of them, this one and this one, that were flat, and I folded them over, and I made them into little books. So this is some old parchment paper that I had that I used to do calligraphy on. I haven't put anything really writing in here, but I think I'm going to maybe put some, I don't know, some information. Why is that wanting to look fuzzy? Okay. So hang on, guys. Let me autofocus. Maybe I click something. Let's autofocus again. And there we go. And so I made these little books out of those two pieces here and put the parchment in here. So that when you open this up, then you can open up the parchment. And I did ink all this. This is all ink. And then I put some of his sketchbook again. I tore the edges, inked the edges, and put some of that on the inside and made a little book out of it. And then these envelopes go in here. Another little tag. This one I put some lace on it. And then the other one here again, I have a little paper clip on here with one of the little rice paper pieces. And then this one, it's the same thing. And I put copper all around the edges. This also has the parchment in it. Open that up, open this up, and then there's some more of Leonardo sketchbooks in there. And then this all closes up. And then I have the little paper clip with the little heart, like that on there. And that tucks in here. Some more of Leonardo's sketchbook. And another little tag. So all this gets tucked in here. And again, we got the little flaps here of olive tree napkins. Okay. Well, yeah, Jan. Anyway, Jan said, well, I'm starting out with the Stamperia papers on and the Ciao papers, and so I have a base to start with. Plus, I have tons of Leonardo da Vinci stuff. So I already had Leonardo stuff, and I bought the Stamperia and Ciao papers from Xandra's shop. And then the rest of it is just a matter of, some paper clips, some ribbons, little metal pieces, whatever you have in your stash, and napkins. And then here's the back. And this is just a piece of paper that I inked up a little bit to make it look like faux leather, a little leather strap there. Same for these. That's paper straps right there with brads in them. And so that is my Leonardo da Vinci ephemera portfolio. And of course, if you're just joining us, I also went through my Asian one and my animals in night sky and my big church one as well. So I went through the other portfolios earlier if you missed them. So, all right, let me take a minute to take a sip of juice and see if y'all have any questions. Let me open this back up here. Let's open it to that page there. If y'all have any questions or anything. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it. So it's a lot of work, and you have to love to make a book like this or a portfolio or a folder because, like I said, just not even in drying time, just in working time on this was at least 6 hours. And that doesn't include having to sit aside, these pockets sit aside for an hour while they're drying. And, everything is done in stages and drying. And it takes some time, for it all to dry and stuff. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Lady Jan. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do this. I know she's going to go, oh, you don't have to do that. But I'm going to show you real quick. My other love, other than Da Vinci, hang on, is Cadfael. If y'all know Cadfael, and I did find one of the hardbacks at a used bookstore. Ellis Peters, that's a pseudonym for the author that wrote Cadfael. And I think there's 25. How many, Lady Jan? 25 of these? I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and zoom in again. And I read them back in the 70s and 80s. Of course, she's passed away. Let's see. Let's go zoom in here. And so I've read them all. And a lot of them I checked out of the library, or I have the little paperbacks, which are too small for me to read anymore, little paperbacks. The little ones that, what paperbacks used to be, not soft covers. Now, for the most part, they're soft covers and they're a readable size. But I'd read a lot of them in either paperback or just a library edition. So I'm trying to collect a hard copy of all the Brother Cadfael mysteries. And, thank you, Kathy. Yeah. And so I love the Cadfael mysteries, and I've read them all. But it's been years, Well, anyway, Lady True North Jan, who you can follow on Instagram. She has 2 different Instagram channels. And if she wants to put, I think Lady True North is one, and I forget her other craft one. She has 2 channels on Instagram. Well, anyway, some years ago, she and Mr. Bear went to England in Shrewsbury, and found where all the story was supposed to have taken place. It was like, what was it, 1100? It was after the Crusades, something like 1100. I can't even remember the exact years. I think Jan might have it in some of my notes over here. But anyway, she brought me back all kinds of information on Cadfael and Shrewsbury and all the, you like the series too, Lynn? I got something in my eye. It feels like it must be a cat hair. So I'm just keep rubbing my eye. I'm going to have to probably go put some eye drops in it or something to get that cat hair. But anyway, so then a couple years, or I'm not sure how many years later, Lady True North Jan, made me a book. And y'all think this is something? Mwah, mwah. All right, so I'm going to set this aside for a second. I'm going to give you a little Cadfael thing here. And Jacoby, or is it, I think it's how you say his name, Jacoby, Derek Jacoby was the actor, the BBC actor that played in the series. And again, it must have been back in the 80s. I don't even remember. I don't even see it anymore on PBS or BBC. But anyway, but I'd already read all the books before I saw any of the TV shows. And so, and here's one. This is the very first one, A Morbid Taste for Bones. So what it is Cadfael was in the Crusades, and then I think he lost his wife. Again, some of the details are a little sketchy because it's been so long since I've read them. I think he lost his wife or his girlfriend in the war, and he became a monk. So he became a monk, but he's very world savvy monk, and he solves murder mysteries from the monastery. And he's an herbalist. He's an herbalist. So he has a lot of knowledge of healing and stuff because he has a knowledge of herbs. And so there's just it's a whole world. Like I said, I think there's 25 books. I don't remember. Jan, did you already say? 28. Okay. 28 volumes, Lady Jan said. And so, but this was the first one, A Morbid Taste for Bones. So one of these days I'm going to find a hard copy of this. But in the meantime, this is a lot of the paperbacks that I read were like, look how old that is. I don't even know how old this one is. Let's see. Let's look at the copyright date of this one. And look, she'd already come out with all these other ones. So this is not like a first edition paperback. But this one came out 1977. So I would have read this back in 1977. And anyway, just so you can know how far back they go. All right, so I have these two just as a sample here because when I talk about it. So here are some of the stuff that Lady True North Jan brought back to me from England. And now this is probably out of her personal garden. Lady True North Jan, she grows a lot of stuff. Anyway, so here's an interview with Ellis Peters here she printed out. Here's some of the different booklets and things about the monastery, the chapel, abbey, I guess it would be called. The whole thing is an abbey. And so she brought me all this stuff back when she went, and I'm sure she got herself copies of it too. But here's like maps, and you can walk all these different areas, and some of the other stuff that she's given me. So I just keep all this together. But wait, y'all haven't seen nothing yet. We're talking art journals and portfolios and stuff. So I'm gonna show now. I'm not going to read every little bit because I'd have to get she has a key. Not a turnkey, but a key on what everything is. She has like a written key of a legend of each thing in the book. But I want to show it to you because this is one of my proud possessions. And I put a rubber band on it. When she sent it to me, it had twine on it, but it was all, tied in knots and everything. So I had to cut the twine off. So right now it's all held together with rubber bands. But when she sent this to me, it was all held together with twine. Now just look at this. Doesn't this look like real old parchment? Now you got to remember, Lady True North Jan made every bit of this by hand. And she does have a little video. I think it's still up. Is it still up on Instagram, Lady Jan? And her name is Jaen. So it looks kind of like, if you look at it quick, you're going to think it's Jean. Okay, so again, the rubber bands are what I put around it. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And if she wants to talk about any of this, if you have any questions to ask her, are you still here, lady? Yeah, there she is. She's still here. There she is. Okay, it's Lady True North or Lady North Crafts on IG. So if y'all have any questions about this, feel free to ask her. Maybe I should leave that there for just a second so y'all can find her. How many hours can you guesstimate that it took you to make this, Lady Jan? Yeah. Julie, wait for it. Julie's seen it. A lot of y'all have seen it. But anyway, I would love for her to restate how many hours it took for her to make this. All right. So again, it's in this, it looks like old parchment. And she put this together 6 weeks. Okay, there we go. So y'all know it took me 6 hours. It took me 6 hours to make that Leonardo da Vinci portfolio. It took me 6 hours. Plus, I'm not including drying time. There's side time of drying that I'm not including. I'm just actual painting and making of it. Took me 6 hours. This took her 6 weeks. Okay. And I'm so proud of it. I show it every chance I get. Okay, so here we go. Here's the string that it was tied with. I kept that in there. It is an accordion book, but not only is it an accordion book, but the accordion works both ways, front and back. And here's the key. I think this is, no, that's just the note. Okay, that's another one of her notes there. The key is in here. There it is. I think that's it right there. So to explain the whole book that took her 6 weeks to make, I'm going to zoom in. Let's zoom in one more. The 6 weeks it took her to make, you can see how big. It's about as big as my hand, but look how thick and chunky this is. Look at this. And it's a double-sided accordion book. Double-sided. Here is the key, everything that she did and how to address it, read it, and what everything means is all in this legend, key legend, whatever you want to call it. She has it all broke down, everything that's in it, all the stories behind it. Okay. So I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm just going to kind of flip through and show you some of the stuff that's in it. So she starts out, a lot of these pictures that she's taken, these, if y'all know, he has a thing about the rose, the name of the rose, and the different thing about roses. These are her pictures. And I guess this is from her own garden. But she has quotes, Cadfael quotes on everything. Here's a little cover of the A Morbid Taste for Bones, the first in the series. And look at the back. Everything is so well done. And no detail was spared. No detail was spared on this. Here's a little map right here that made the little pocket. And look, she's got little, I'm going to go through as much as I can. Again, without going through the whole story of it, I'm just going to kind of show you some of the elements of it. Okay, here's the other, that's the other map thing. That's a separate thing here. Another parchment. So here's a little piece of, there's whales and all the different little UK, I guess we'll say, UK area that he traversed, because he went all over the area. Okay, so a little pocket here, and again, she has herbs, because remember, he was an herbalist. She has little herb packets. Here is lemon orange, and then inside she has little filters with inside that look like little pouches, right? And then inside she has the actual, look, lemon herbs. She has the actual herbs in each one. I'm telling you, people, this is just like, this is crazy. Oh, and then she has, so there's just different little pouches depending on the side you go through. Okay, and then she has the little pockets that they go in. And then she has all the little quotes from The Leper of St. Giles. That was one of the names of the books. And then she has little information, the different adventures he went on, how he interacted during the Crusades. And again, it's all double-sided. So after I go through this way, you can go this way too. So I'm going to go one way and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm probably going to do it out of order, but then I'm going to flip it over and you can see what's on the other side. So it's a double-sided book. And hi, Devin. I'm just showing Lady Jan's Cadfael book that she made me. I think it's a couple years ago. So here's some, this again, I know has to tuck in one of these pockets. I think goes in here. So here's time. And again, inside she has, you open it up and there's a little packet of time in there. So she's got all her herbs in here. And how this works, I think this goes in here like this, and then the flap kind of flaps over. Then what do we have here? Then we have another little book here, more little information. And they're all based off of his stories, which again, there's 28 of them. There's another little pocket right here with some more little things in there, some more little herbs. This one's rosemary. And again, each one of these has the actual herb in there. There's the actual herb in here. I try to be gentle. I don't want to lose any of it, you know. So, yeah. And it's from her own garden. She has herb gardens herself. Okay, so then we're going to tuck that back in. Tuck that back in this little flap. And this is let's see, which one of these is this? This is the map. And what kind of fold is this again, Lady Jan? Okay, so this is the map from, I think, from either the Arab or the Crusades, or when he went through the Arab territories. I don't remember everything. I'd have to look it all up. But look at this. What's this fold called again? Lady Jan, look at this fold, guys. This is a ancient map fold, but I don't remember what it's called. Lady Jan can tell us there. But look at this. The Turkish map fold. Okay, so that's the Turkish map fold. Look at that. And look how she made it look like an old parchment map. I mean, I'm telling you, no detail was spared. Okay, so let's see. And so she just got all the different things, charts and graphs and herbs and maps, and they all flap back and forth from the front to the back. And I know I've messed this up. I've gone through it so many times. And the little stories and the little quotes and the different parts of the what each thing is, and the ships and tags with all kinds of things about each one. And then there's another little book flap here. And that. And then here's Derek Jacobi. Is it Jacobi or Jacobi? But anyway, there's the actor that played him. That's the actor that played Cadfael. And then she has a little, his symbol and his seals there. Now, again, this also goes the other way. So she has actual pictures from when she visited. And then again, there's another picture of the actor in the TV series in his herbalist. He's an herbalist. And an herbologist? What would his place be called? His place, the room. I forget what an herbologist room is called. Okay, so anyway, then some more little books and the different herbs and what they're good for, and it's all broken out with little stars. And look how it looks vintage and like an old parchment. So I'm going back on the other way now. And again, more information. There's the rose, different little monk, more of the herbs. He also kept bees. There's a beehive thing talking about the bees and the honey, and then different little notes right here about the abbeys. And they all just tuck in so nicely. So then we got pictures. These are Lady Jan's pictures and photographs from when she went there. And there's like through the stained glass window, more pictures and photographs. It kind of has a little bit of a smell, but not too much because all the herbs are really wrapped up, right? When I first got it, I might have had more of a scent to it, but I've had it now for a couple years. The stained glass window, more information, and again, all this just a little pockets, and then here's another little pull out of all the different. You can see there the different. It's just so, it's just the detail in this. And what it is. So again, the whole thing is an accordion book. Look. The whole thing is just one long accordion book, but it's front and back. I don't want to lose anything in here. I want it to sort of stay where it's supposed to. But it's all one giant accordion. Isn't that just this is an awesome work of art. Isn't it just an awesome work of art? And again, with the information, a breakdown of each page and her notes, and then it's wrapped in here. And then this, forget what we had here. Oh, this was some more of the what was it called again, Jan? The fold, Turkish map fold. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Just so y'all can see this here. Here's the whole layout. And it just opens up into one big map here. Isn't that just awesome? A user's manual. Yeah, there we go. Jan said that Mr. Bear, her husband, Mr. Bear called it a user's manual. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Jan. There's so much to it. You need a user's manual or a legend or a key. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Crusaders map. Okay, so look. So again, look at that, guys. Isn't that just amazing? And then it goes in its own little pocket here. Has a little pocket. And that goes in there. And then this shut over the top of that. And then this whole thing was in the back of here. Like this. And then the whole thing closes up. And she had it with the twine. You know, I have it shut with the rubber band just to keep it, just to keep it closed here. So I had a couple rubber bands around it. To keep it safe and like a little vintage. Isn't that awesome, guys? I mean, I love that book. I love this book. And so, yeah, so I keep all this Cadfael stuff. I have a place on my shelf for it. And, yeah. Every time you show it, I know, right, CB? So when I show my Leonardo book here, that took me 6 hours. This took me 6 hours to make, not including drying time. You can imagine how long, well, Jan said it took her 6 weeks. It took her 6 weeks to make that book. So it's a labor of love when you make something like that, right? So anyway, I got through showing you the portfolios, and I'm glad I got to show you. I'm glad Lady Jan was here to show you guys her book again, because it's amazing. Oh no, thank you. It's like a piece of work. It's an art, it's a piece of art. So I know, right, Claire? Awesome work, Lady Jan. So she said, I had to go out and wait for the snow to melt together the plantain. Oh, so bye, Devin. You're welcome. Thanks for coming in. All right, guys. So now let me got my light. Let's brighten it up just a little until I get something else down here. So I I had some other quotes. I was thinking about doing some practice. Let me pick up some of this paint. Thinking about doing some practice brush lettering a little bit. I didn't know how much time that all would take and how much time we would have left. But I thought we'd do a little brush lettering for a while. And I don't know what are you going to do today, Janet? Let me pick up all my little things here so they're out of the way. Excuse the reach. Does anybody did Jan say, oh, I know, I gotta show my Jane Davenport pen. Now I'm not going to do calligraphy with this today, but and I have to figure out which ink I'm going to even use with this. But all right, let's move this over here. Get some stuff out of the way. Hang on. You think I have all this room in here, but I really don't. I have to keep picking up so I have room to do the next thing. Okay, so I thought maybe I'd do a little bit of, I think I'm going to stick these paper things in the book itself. So next time somebody says, well, what kind of paper, where'd you get that paper? I'll have the Ciao Bella and the Stamperia papers in there too. I didn't do that with the other one, and I forgot the name. All right. Something low stress, Janet says she's going to do. Oh, can you finish your watercolor? And Jan and I were just talking about, talking a minute ago, a few minutes ago here, that, let's see. Let me try to do the auto again. Let's get that. There we go. Maybe on Thursdays, doing a show together. And we're not saying every Thursday, but maybe whenever we both feel like doing it, that we can do a show together, Janet and I, and have a guest. So you just never know. You can always have a guest. And do a show on Thursdays and have some guests. Oh, you finished your watercolor? Oh, so you can't work on that one. We can start a new one. You can start a new watercolor, Janet. All right. So anyway, thanks, Jan. Yeah, we're thinking about it. So I'm blaming Sandra. Xandra got a Jane Davenport Mermaid. Let's see if I can get this straightened out here. Got a Jane Davenport Mermaid pen. And all right, let's do the white balance again. Hang on, guys. Let's see. Let's do the autofocus. Let's see here. Hang on. I'm really zoomed in, so I got to kind of adjust that. There we go. Jane Davenport Mermaid glass pen. And Jane had two variations of it. She had the blue mermaid and she had a clear something else. But I wanted this one because this is the one Xandra had. Now, if you order from Jane's shop, she is in Australia. This took a month to get here, or close to. So if you order from Jane, it is going to take you a while to get it. So you have to be patient. She did send me a tracking thing. It was like, okay, it's in the country and it's in San Francisco, didn't give me an address or anything like that, but it would say it's enter the country. And so it took a while to get it. I probably should. Well, let's see what it looks like when I take it out. So it comes in this box, and it comes with an empty bottle that you can put your own color of ink in. Okay. You can put your own ink in it, and I would, and I wouldn't want her to send ink from Australia anyway. But that way you can pick your own color of ink that you would like to use. Well, of course, you can use all, it's a dip pen. All right. So the pen and the stand it's all glass. Okay. So it comes with a little wave as a stand. And you could probably use it either way. I like it this way. So it's a little wave, glass blue wave. And then the glass pen, which is blue inside. I'm going to try to capture the light. But look, it's got a mermaid tail on the end. It's got a mermaid tail. It's a mer pen. It's a mermaid pen. So look how it swirls the glass. And it's got a little mermaid tail on the end. And this one's blue. I'm trying to kind of swirl it so you can see some of the color in there. And then, of course, it's got the glass nib. It's got like a little ball, it's a tiny, like the tiniest stylus that you could have kind of ball on the end. And then it's got the little wave that you rest it on, that you can rest it on when you are, let's see, I'll go this way with it. There we go. That you can rest it on when you're using it. Isn't that just so cute? So I'm going to practice with it, not today, because I have to decide what ink I want to do. I probably want some kind of a turquoise ink or something like that. But look how beautiful that is. Look at that little tail. Look at that little mermaid tail. It's got a little curve to it. And so anyway, I just wanted to show that off. I did post a close-up picture of it on Instagram. And when I posted it, I thought, oh, I can't just take a picture. Hi, Jane. I can't just post a picture of that pen on just like wood background. So what I did is I did a little setup. I did a little vignette. I set up a little vignette. So let's see if you can see that. So you can go on my Instagram to see it. So I put little stars and little pearls and little jewels. I had to do it. And then I took then it's a little bit closer. And then I took a picture where you can see the little tail with the light hitting it right there. I put out some little wave things. So I just kind of decorated it up like a little setting. Hi, Patricia. So if you want to see it close up, you can go over to Instagram and see it over there. And then I also did the quick little 1-minute video of the Leonardo da Vinci portfolio thing. So you can see if you want to see a quick 1-minute video of it being flipped through, it's just a little square. Instagram is a square, and this is a rectangle portfolio, but I wanted to kind of zoom in on there. So there you go. You can kind of see. I just did a quick, like I said, a 1-minute video doing a flip through. If you want to see a quick one again. And I think, again, Lady Jan, it's going to be a year. No, it's probably, I don't know when she made the video, maybe 2 years ago when she made the Cadfael showing. So, okay. So, and it came in a nice cushy, pen box here to hold everything in a real pretty little box. And then, of course, this box was in a big box with, packaged really well. And Jane had this wrapped up in some of her paper, and she even had a little candy in there. So anyway, that's my Jane Davenport pen. What else do I have here? Oh, let me stick this in the book too, so I don't lose that. Trying to keep everything together. All right. So I was going to do a little bit of brush lettering. No, Zandra. Oh, there's Zandra. I was going to say, I love how you put the mermaid pin on. Thanks, Zandra. Of course, I had to blame Zandra because it was Zandra's fault. Scraps to Beauty, Zandra. And Xander, if you weren't here earlier, I showed the portfolios that I made using the Stamperia paper that I bought from your shop, and we shouted out your shop as well. And so anyway, I'm blaming Xander for buying that pen from Jane. And Xander does not carry the Jane pens in her shop. So just FYI, Xander carries a very specialist, very beautiful Stamperia and Ciao Bella and other things. But you have to order from Jane in Australia. So, yeah. Yes, I did. That's what I said. I got a candy. Yes, I did. Oh, okay. So, what does Sandra say here? Getting her new 6 stamps on Saturday. Yeah, Xandra's streams every Sunday afternoon about 4:30 Eastern, and she always does a little show and tell and little enabling, if you will, which I don't mind. I love it. Whether I buy something from someone or not, I don't mind. She'll tell you it's going to take me about 15 minutes. She doesn't do hours and hours of enabling, but she does a little bit. She does just the right amount. And so Xandra said she's getting Jane's 6 new stamps on Saturday. Well, y'all know that I have 2 big Jane books. Now, sorry, guys, I clicked myself off. Sorry, guys, I clicked myself off. Am I back? Oops, yeah. Boomer. I clicked myself. Let's turn down the light now because now that I'm a little further away. I'm back. Sorry, guys, I clicked the wrong button. I meant to click the camera button and I clicked the leaves. So I have a couple of different Jane books. I'll show you real quick. And I might just use one of these just to do some brush lettering in. And I have different pens that we've done brush lettering with. Now, why is it dark here again? Let me move this out a little. Hang on. Let's see if I can get some light back over in here. I got it dark right in here. I don't know why. But I did get rid of that other lamp. I've got some other lamps that will be coming soon. But in the meantime, I think that's good. All right, so I have different things that I've done with different brush lettering and stuff like that. So, but I thought we might use, let's test these. I thought I would test out these Stadler ones, Stedler. Let's see here. So they have on these Stedlers, they have like a bullet, well, it's like a mini brush and a bullet tip. So I'm not sure about brush lettering with these, but I thought I would test them out because I like the colors. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I just clicked the wrong button and kicked myself out. So these 2 books are my Jane Davenport journal books. Now, in this one, it's my kind of my Jane junk journal because I have my Jane stuff in it, and I have some of my preppy, crafty girl, Jonna, vintage papers. Speaking of preppy, crafty girl, if you go on Etsy, Preppy Crafty Girl has 3 new, she has mermaid kits based off of the golden books, the golden kids books. So if you like junk journals and vintage papers and vintage book, making things out of the little golden books, Preppy Crafty Girl, as of last night, had 3 new kits up. Are they still there this morning? I don't know. But anyway, I've bought some of her kits before, and they are combined. This is kind of like my version of a Jane Jonna junk journal. Okay, say that 3 times fast. So I have I have 3 Jane Davenport books, Jonna vintage paper, and just a lot of junk. So it's my Jane Jonna junk journal. This one is a 3-ring binder. This one I made out of this is all Jane book here. I made this one out of 2 of Jane's books. So I've got 5 of Jane's books here. I think I have I have one that's a duplicate, and I have part of one of each. But there's 5 of her books all total. No, 6 all total. 5 different types. So I have this one is her Marvelous Mermaids, and what was the other one in here? I'd have to get to it to see. Is this here? Oh, and the Fabulous Figures. So what I did with these 2, I'll start with this one just because it's easier to explain. So in this one, what I did is I took one of the Canson Mixed Media, sketch pad, sketchbook pads, and I deconstructed. I took it all apart, took the rings out, or took the spiral out, and I put my rings in there. So this is my own rings in here in a Canson Mixed Media journal. Let's move this one over a minute because it's going to flash out. And then what I did is I took the books apart, punched holes in the whole book. And there's a video on at least doing one of them. I think there's a video where I did that. I don't think I showed both of them. I think I did one off camera. And then what I did is I punched holes in them, and no, I did not. Let's see. Did I punch on? No, I punched holes on this one. Wait, let me back up. On this one, I washi taped it. So I took the books apart and I washi taped them to you can see where I took the spiral out. Where I took the spiral out of the Canson Mixed Media. And then I washi taped all the pages, and I washi taped front and back so they'd hold in well. So there's Jane right there. So now the pages from the book that has been deconstructed are washi taped onto the actual paper of the Canson Mixed Media, which is a texture, it's a lightly textured page. So now you can work on the pages, whatever the project is. You can work on the pages on the paper that's in between. And so you can see here, this one flapped out, but I think after this one, I flapped them all the same way. But this one I had flapped out because this is how I did a lot of the flaps in this book. Okay, so again, washi tape, and your blank page. And I did this with 2 books. So you can see how thick this got. Okay. So now if I want to do any just any mermaid ideas actually, or undersea sketching or anything like that, I don't necessarily have to do, exactly Jane's projects, but I can get inspiration from it. Let's see, guys, let's get the light back. I can do inspiration or idea collecting. Y'all know I'm all about collecting all those ideas. So, yeah, so I'm just going to kind of do a little flip through here so you can see. Maybe I did do the outside. Okay. All right, let's back up. I can remember how I washi taped these in. I remember now I did the washi tape on the outside. That's why it's so thick on the outside. So that when you're working on it, you can flap this out and still work without the paper being in the way. That's what I did on this. Because I remember I washi taped the outside on the other book too. So that way you can open it up like this and work on the blank pages and still read everything and do whatever you want and have the pages out of the way. Okay. So again, here Here's the little projects that she has. So if you want to work on a project, you can have your paper right next to it. And it's all self-contained. It's all self-contained. And I double washi every single page. So both of Jane's books are completely taken apart and washi taped into a deconstructed sketchbook. The spiral being taken out and then just put in with some book rings. Okay. So I haven't gone back to work in this one. I've gone back and worked in this one up here, but just so you can see how you can do different projects from her book. I got two here because this was a double page project, so I washi taped them both on there. But Jane's books are just so fun and inspiring, and you can get them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and get them on Amazon. This is her newest one, the Mermaid one. So just so you can see, here's another one that has 2 pages in there. So I'm just going to do a quick flip just so you can kind of see Jane's very inspiring in her bright, colorful. Of course, it's mermaids, Right, Xandra? It's mermaids. So every page has a back and a front. Some have 2 pages depending on the project. And then washi taped onto a blank page for you to work on. I just thought this would be a very fun way. You don't have to take her book apart and to washi tape it in another book. But I just thought it would be fun and inspiring to use it this way. If you've followed Xandra, Scraps to Beauty Xandra, on her YouTube channel, she does a lot of projects based on Jane's products and Jane's books and a lot of mermaids. Okay, so here's the end of that one. So again, I kept the covers. Here's the covers from the front and back. That's the back of the mermaid one. Now here's Fabulous Figures. So I did the same thing. So again, it's all on the rings. Now I'll just kind of do it this way, just so you can kind of see. So they're all taped in, just like I showed you, where you can flip them out and open them and see the projects. But then you have a place. Every single one of them has a place to work on a page. See? Okay, so there we go. So this is my Fabulous Faces and the Mermaid book, and you can see it's quite chunky, but that is 2 of Jane's books deconstructed and put inside of a sketchbook with rings. Okay, so there's that way. Then the other way, this is where I thought we would just do some doodle lettering in. This one is Jane's books. It's 3 of them, including her little mini inspiration prompt book, and then 2 of her other books are taken apart, put in here, along with my vintage papers and things from Jonna. Now, here's one of the things about a book like this for me, and look how big it's a 3-inch binder. One of the things about a book like this for me is like there's some vintage papers and there's all kinds of junk journaling type stuff in here. If I come open this book and I come across something that I like a paper or something like that, I'll have no compulsion about just taking it, ripping it right out and using it in another project. I do not mind deconstructing my own journals or other people's journals. I will just deconstruct. If I need that color, if I need that piece of paper, I will just take it apart. Hi, friend. I will take it apart and use it if I need to. Okay. So here's just a piece of something. I don't know if it was out of a Nat Geo or something, but it was I think that was one of the papers. It might have been one of the papers that Jonna, one of the kits that I bought. Now I'm going to have to do something about lifting this up because that's going to, maybe by the time I was going to say that's going to leave a glare. Let me put something under here. Let's put that. No, that's still not enough. I'm going to have to prop that up. That's going to be a big glare there. Let's get my little book so I prop things up with. And that will be a little better. Still, it's still a glare. Maybe if I move that lamp. All right, I'll just hold it up. I just have to hold it up. Okay, so I did intersperse some cardstock papers in between. Hang on, I flashed it out. I interspersed some cardstock papers to give it a little bit more stability. So, because there's a lot of vintage papers in here that are very thin. Let's get another stack of something. There we go. And so I wanted to give it a little bit more stability. So I used some cardstock decorative papers here and there just to give it a little more stability. Now, a couple things about doing a big book like this in a 3-ring binder. If you are using any kind of thin papers, like these are the cardstock ones that I put to give it some stability. But if you use any papers, like here's the book from Jane's book, I went through and every page is ring reinforced. Because in a big, thick book like this, if you're going through it front and back and moving things around in it, it is going to rip. It will start to tear. So you really have to reinforce all the pages. Let me see if I got any. Hi, Ashley. I know I'm missing people. Yeah, you can talk about Zandra's store flow. Yeah, you can ask her about our store. Let me get a sip of juice here. So, again, a lot of these pages have been taken out of books and washi taped on. But they're washi taped on not notebook paper, but like typing paper, copy paper. I still call it typing paper. Thin paper, copy paper, so I can get a lot of pages in here. Again, look how thick this is. That's a lot of pages. So if you use copy paper as your base paper and washi tape other papers on, then you're going to have to reinforce it or they're going to tear and they're going to come out. So I spent the time, I reinforced all the pages, and I started out with these colorful reinforcers, and then you know what I need to do? Here, this is all I need to do. I just need to cover up that glare. There we go. That's what I need to do. Just cover up that shiny paper or that shiny plastic. There we go. It's always the lighting. I got new lighting coming, guys. I mean, look. I mean, I could just move this every which way. I've got like 6 lights in here, and it still gives me shadows. Let me try this one again. It's a constant lighting battle, but that's the way of it. All right, so before I flip through, I just wanted to explain that. So I put a lot of my swatches in here. There's a lot of swatches and a lot of tests and things. And so I thought this would be a good book to do some lettering, brush lettering in. Oh my gosh, it's just driving me crazy. Let's see here. Hang on, guys. But maybe if I move up. There we go. Let's move up. Maybe I'm just sitting over here in the shadow, down the shadows. And so I got my Staedtler pens out that have a bullet tip on one side and then a kind of a semi brush on the other. So I thought this would be a good way to test these and just maybe do a couple quotes or something. So does anybody have any questions or anything? Are we good? I'm not seeing a lot of questions or anything. All right, so we'll keep rolling. And so these are the Jane, the small little Jane prompt book. And so you can see, look how I did it all with just bright washi tape. Here's some of Jane's collage papers in here. So I wanted this bright and colorful and fun. And so that's why I did a lot of swatching and stuff in this one. Alrighty, so let's keep flipping. And I've shown this before, but it's been a while. So in the little prompt books, Jane has different little things for you to do. Like this one says, think about what you love. Think about how you can be a source of light to other people. So what I have now is places to write. And also, I got to remember, I want to read out of our 1001 Ways to Be Creative. So I'm going to set that right there. Now, you may think that there's not a lot of writing and stuff in this one. It's because I have multiple 3-ring binders for Society of Idea Collectors and multiple sketchbooks to work out of. So when you don't see a lot in one, doesn't mean I'm not working on something or in something. It's just that a lot of times it's in a different book. I don't mind having different books with lots of ideas in different books. It just doesn't bother me. I can, I don't know. It just doesn't. But speaking of ideas, I'm trying to get this one done for next month's thank you. So y'all know when I was drawing those lemurs, I'm just going rabbit trail, the lemurs, and I was digging through my it's my my portfolio from, I think it was 3 years ago. So I have different portfolios that I'll usually fill up in about a year. And then it's so full, I got to start throwing things in another one. But anyway, so I was looking for my Samurai Viking lemur, and I finally found a copy of it. I still have not, Janet, I still have not found the original sketch of it. But I decided, because I do lemur so much, I thought I would do an owl. So I'm going to do a samurai owl, a fight, like a, what do you call it? Like a, I don't want to say a fighting owl, but a, a warrior owl, a samurai warrior type owl. No, I didn't find the original CB. So this is a sketch that I'm working on right now for the samurai owl. And this is just a sketch, nothing else going on here yet. So, but I'm going to try to finish up that one for next month. Just, there's a little sidebar. So I'll probably work on that while I'm at modding at Janet's later. Okay, so here we go. I've got painty papers, Smack and Dragon papers in between. I've got lists. Here's our list of fairy tales and more Smack and Dragon inky pages. So this book is much more messy and much more things thrown in it. Like I said, this is my Jane and Jonna junk journal. So there's lots of different things in this one. It's not just Jane. But I just thought that the Jane books were very inspiring. So here's one of Jane's pictures. And then from Jonna's kit, one of her kits, they had this vintage calling card and these vintage people. So I just put that over the top of Jane's drawing there. So again, in this one, I'm going to have lots of painty papers. Let's see, I need to move this over because I'm going to do flaps. There we go. And so it's got all kinds of different things, random stickers, random doodles and drawings, more lists. I used paint chips for divider tabs. So I do have a lot of this divided up, and I have the paint chips because they're real heavy, right? So they make good dividers. And again, I would put in a heavy cardstock in between here and there because a lot of these papers are thin. And here's some vintage graph papers and ledger papers from Jonna. And so just different swatches. Did lots of swatches. This was my Inktober list from last year, the Movie Monsters My Way list. And so you can see we just have all kinds of flaps and flips, and I just like it. It makes it inspiring to me. Here's some of this is the Currents set from Prima. So that's those colors that are in, and I even kept the packaging right there, the packaging of those watercolors. And then these right here are from one of Jane's it's from packaging. And so I use that packaging as a, what do you call it? A tab. So again, I'm just going to kind of flip through here. This will take a few minutes, unless y'all don't want to see this. Again, I put another vintage face on there. There's a little vintage yo-yo, vintage Old Maid card, the game Old Maid. I just thought that looked kind of cool with the, with the three girls, the pretty girls and the Old Maid. I always tell my girls, beauty fades, dumb is forever. That's a Judge Judy quote. I love that quote. So you can be pretty and, you're young and pretty and stuff, a while, but beauty fades, dumb is forever. So don't be dumb. Let's see some more Jane's prompts on the back of that. And then this is a piece of fabric from a swatch. And so just a little bit of everything in this one. Some giant paper clips I can clip in. And again, I know I've got lots of different swatches are going to be going on here in a minute. This is the Vicky Bouton. Those were those sticks. I don't know if I gave those away. I cannot find those. I don't know what I did with those water-soluble crayons, the Vicky Bouton ones that I got at Tuesday morning. We did this little test here. I might have given them away. So, because I have the Neo Color 2. So, you liking it, Fran? Okay. Here's a little vintage recipe card from Lady. And then again, I'm gonna call her Lady Jan because that's the book we did earlier. Preppy Crafty Girl Jonna and her vintage kits. And then again, this is a thick piece of cardstock just to give the stability to the thin pages here and there. So, and then, if you just want to get some inspiration, just stop and color something. Vintage list and vintage bingo and cards. So this has just got a little of everything. And so it's all just fun and inspiring to go through. And then if you find something that just catches your eye, if you want to stop and doodle and color or, do some lettering, which is what I want to do here in a minute. So, all right, well, just for instance, let's just go right here. All right, so, oh, look, is a unicorn. Or Zippy. All right, so I'm going to just get out a pretty purple or a magenta or maybe a pink. Maybe a pretty pink. Oh, I kind of like this magenta. The pink is a little corally color. All right, so, if you want to just practice your, and again, I haven't really used these Staedtler. It has a brush tip on one side and a bullet tip on the other. So, and then here's, a thing of hearts. You could do, let's just write unicorn. Oh, so this is very purple. All right, well, this is something good to know. Look, these Staedtler, look, that looks magenta. Let's see, maybe I should zoom in. Let's click in one. And it's not really showing up here, but look at the cap, look at the color. It's totally a different color. That is totally a different color than when it's writing. Yeah, it's not this magenta color. Look, it's purple. So when I say brush lettering, it's really, what I really am talking about is a soft tip marker. And Janet and I were going to really get into this at one time a few years ago, and we really didn't. All right, so let's try another color. Let's try maybe a teal color or aqua. Here, let's try this. Now this one's pretty much the same color as the cap. That other one wasn't, though, was it? So you can practice your brush lettering like this. I did a semi brush lettering type letters when I did my nature journaling note taking, which I'm still working in that book too. And I would just use the Fude brush pen, which is like it's more precise. Let me see here. Hang on. Is it in here? Oh, I gotta get up. Gotta go around this lamp. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find one in here. I was just using it, so it might be. Ah, here, it's off to the side. These are awesome black pens to write with. And you can find them on jet pens. They're all in Japanese. I can't tell you anything other than their Fude Touch. And they're a plastic nib that you can write like this, but smaller. Oh, gosh. The lighting. All right, so for instance, let me just write it small. So you can do this thick and thin type writing, but like more the size that you would actually be writing, real writing size. If it makes such can make a gazillion of wrong colors, why the heck did they make the right? And then you have the thin side. Whoops, that's the wrong side. Then you have the thin side, which you can do. I'll do it on this other one because you'll be able to see it better. But then you can do a detail and other like thick and thin, like decorative borders and edges around. Yeah, it's not going to show up. It's too, I picked too light of a color. Turn it down. Nope, it's still not showing. But anyway, you can go around your lettering with the other side. All right, just so I can, just want you to see what, I'm just going to do some quotes and some lettering and stuff. Vintage fabric, some collage papers. This is a piece of map paper that just has paint on it. Vintage playing cards. So you can just see it's just a little bit of everything in here, and it's just like a junk journal. It's like a junk journal with vintage stuff, and plus I do swatches in it. So this is some out of Jane. This is just Smack and Dragon ink pages, more Smack and Dragon ink pages. It just goes with Jane's type of stuff. There's a vintage letter, a vintage precious moments. And anytime I say vintage paper thing, that's from Jonna, sister woman, from her kits. You too, Zandra. Thank you for stopping in. Thanks for enabling me to get my Zandra pen. So I know I've got more swatches in here in a minute, but just so you can kind of get some inspiration, some ideas. Here's another one you could do some lettering on. Here, let's do, let's get a dark purple. Let's see, instead of magenta, let's see. This is not even the same. I'm not even sure which one I was using a minute ago. They're similar. They're similar. Okay, let's just write pretty or something, just so I can just show you. You can just use these, and so you can just practice your. I'm writing sideways. Can y'all tell? You can just practice your lettering with the pen practice it on in your junk journal. Vintage little artist Valentine. Ledger papers. a doodle there. I don't know what we were doing. We did something there. And then here's some more swatches. These are the Artigo paint pens. These are not Artizo. These are another brand. Then here's the Artisan pens. Got those. And then I also have the Artizo ones in here somewhere. Dee Dee, can you spell that Japanese calligraphy pen? It's F-U-D-E. Is it two E's, Janet? I think it's one E. All right, here we go. It's F-U-D-E. There's a whole name right there. Just Fude. It's a brush. It's brush pen is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going there to look at it right now. I got mine off of Jet Pens, but it's a blue. They're blue. All right, let me lighten it back up. Hang on, guys. Every time I move, the light changes. But it's all in Japanese. So, but that's what they look like. Let's see if I can read. Okay, I'll read you the number off of it. 4-901-681-51-8609. That's the ISBN number on there. Okay. So, all right, let's go with it like Little Red Riding Hood. Let me get a red. So there's Little Red Riding Hood. Just to, you want to keep your hand limber for writing like this. And what I like about this kind of writing is you can do, they call it bounce lettering, so that you don't have to write on a line. Like it doesn't matter if it's not on a line. But you can get your thick and thins real easy. Thanks, Bacola, for the linkages. So there we go. Throw me to the wolves and I will return leading the pack. That's one of Jane's. Some more just paints, picking up swatches. And then again, there's her little prompt pages. Which person in your life always has your back? Who relies on you for support and protection? How do these relationships enrich your life? So she gives you a little prompting, and you can write it, draw it, illustrate it, whatever you want to do. But this is from her little prompt book. These little pages like that, that's what they're from. Okay. And again, there's no rhyme or reason to this. It's not in any order. I deconstructed the books. I use them for swatching. Okay, so here are Jane's. Now these right here. Are these the ones? No, these are from her watercolor set. This is from the gold set. This is from this is her mermaid markers, part of them. And then this is from her watercolor set. And I just practiced with the Fude, some of the brush lettering there. I think that was with the Fude. And the gold, this is from her gold watercolor set. So, and then these are the rest of the mermaid markers. So just, well, I did used to do professional calligraphy, like with the steel nib pens. dip pens years ago, back in the 80s, back before everybody had desktop and you could just print out the fonts. You know, back then there was a market for calligraphy. Now everybody just prints it out, unless you're just doing it as for yourself. But I used to do it, you know, professionally as a side hustle, although we didn't call it side hustles back then. That's a new term for a side job. I worked full time in visual merchandising, and calligraphy was my side hustle. I think I told you, did I tell you the story about one of the girls that worked at the store where I worked at? I'm trying to get it straight in my head because it's been a while since I've thought about this. I'll just keep flipping while I'm talking, so y'all can just kind of see. Anything you see like this as vintage, that's from one of Sister Woman Jonna, preppy, crafty girl on Etsy. It would have been from one of her kits if you see anything vintage. Otherwise, I'm going to flip and talk. So there was a, these are the Arteza watercolors here. And then the Arteza gouache is in here as well. I think that's next. Anyway. So back when I was in visual merchandising, I did calligraphy as a side hustle while I was working in visual merchandising. One of the girls, actually, I think she might have been the maid. And I don't know, that's what we called it then. This was back in the 80s, early 90s. Cleaning person. Don't anybody email me. But anyway, she said she wanted to do a calligraphy for someone that was close to her, that helped her in a hard time. And she gave me, I don't know if it was a Bible verse or a quote of some kind. I don't even remember what it was. And she goes, well, I don't really have much money. How much would you charge? And so I gave her a real good deal. I mean, I didn't charge her hardly anything, but I didn't want to make her feel like, oh, I'll just do it for free. I didn't want to make her feel bad, So I gave her a real good discount, and I did this calligraphy for her. Well, some years later, one of my friends that lived in the same city, she also worked in the mall. We were all mall rats back then, she had a problem with her father-in-law had passed away, and he needed to go to a different state than we lived in, and she was having a trouble with the VA and all this stuff. She was having a real hard time trying to get her father-in-law into the cemetery that he wanted to be buried at because of red tape or whatever. So she went to the other state, and she went to the funeral home. She went to the funeral home, and she was sitting there, and she was practically in tears. She goes, I just don't, talking to the funeral home director, I just don't know what to do. I can't get my father-in-law here, and this is where he wants to be buried, next to his wife. I don't remember the whole story. So anyway, the funeral home director says, well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we can do. He goes, I'll be right back. So he leaves the room, and she looks up on the wall, and she sees this calligraphy. And she thought, that calligraphy writing looks so familiar. She went up to the calligraphy, and she saw my name. She saw where I had signed it. The calligraphy I'd done for the cleaning lady, she had given it to this funeral director to thank him for helping her with her relative's funeral. And my friend went to that same funeral home. It's out of state. It's not even in the same state. Went out of state to the funeral home and saw that calligraphy that I had done for another girl up on the wall of the funeral director. And she said, after that, she said, she knew everything was going to be okay. She goes, I just knew. There's Dee Dee's calligraphy on the wall there. That's like a sign from God that everything is going to be okay. So the funeral director came back and he goes, okay, you're all set. We got it figured out. We can get your father-in-law here. But anyway, I just thought that was like a cool story of how when you help one person and you just don't know the ripples that it has effect in down the road, you know. Is my chat frozen? I haven't seen it move. Is anybody still, are y'all still here? That the ripple effects that happen down the road. These are all vintage papers from Jonna. Are we still here, guys? I'm seriously, the chat is not moving. I don't know what's going on. Are we still here? I don't know what's going on. Let me switch it from like one to another. Maybe that'll help get it going. There we go. Okay, thanks, Pacola. It hadn't moved for a couple of 2-3 minutes. I guess y'all were just listening to the story. These, again, are all vintage papers that were in a kit that I bought from Jonna. And so anyway, it was just kind of a neat story about how, you know, you help one person and you don't know how that goes around to help somebody else. Flo said, sometimes we just stop talking. Not in this group. People are always talking in this group, Flo. Okay, so here are the Arteza paint pens. So I've got those swatched out. I don't know if this is, I mean, I love just looking. If somebody was flipping through this book on their channel, I'd just be sitting there just sipping coffee and watching it. Because I love this I love seeing flip throughs. So anyway, we'll do another quote or something here in a minute. I'll write another quote. Oh, Jane. So again, vintage sewing and drawing. Oh, look, and I think this, and I'm not joking, this is probably the same one. The art instruction schools. Back when I was, I don't know, I must have been 9 or 10. I filled this out and I did the little test and sent it in. Take the free art test. I don't know. Does it have a year? You know what year this was? You know, you mail in your little test. No, it doesn't have a year on it. But anyway, it would have been back in the 60s. And I mailed it in. And they contacted my mom. They contacted my parents. Well, whoever your daughter is, she has some talent. We'd like to sign her up. Of course, you know, my mom worked full time. My dad was in the Air Force. And when they told him, I don't even remember how much it was back then. They told him how much that cost him. Well, yeah, sorry. We can't do that. I don't know how much that they charged back then. But it was more than we could afford with 3, you know, me and my 2 sisters. So anyway, old pattern. That's an old pattern. But anyway, I just saw that. It just reminded me of it. Okay, so let's flop that down. So you remember those, Jane? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, look, there's a little garden. Let's just write here. Let me get a pen. Let's get an olive green, maybe. It looks like she's just standing there with a little door to a garden. So I want to just write secret garden. You can put some little lines on there. So even if you just do something like this, you're practicing, you're keeping your hand fluid. Can you go back to those black and white patches? Black and white patches? Black and white patches. How far back was it? I don't know what black and white patches. This? Is this what you're talking about? Black and white patches? Fran on the edge? That's just Doodles, Jane's Doodles. I think that's from a Jane book. Pretty sure. Yeah. Those are their little those are her little drawings. Is this what you're talking about? They're little doodles. Hi, Norma. Thank you so much for coming. It's so good to see you. Don't be a stranger. We need to make sure you stick around and hang out every now and then. Thank you, Norma. Thank you for stopping in. Some vintage music. How glad I am for friends. I'm not going to sing. The only thing I usually sing here is soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. I don't sing, guys. So, again, vintage. Look, there's a little Holly Hobby. And then some thicker paper in between every now and then. Some note cards and star chart paper. Dancing, goodbye dance. Let's do a multiple color thing here. Let's do a pink. And maybe let me pick a couple bright colors. I did like that kind of olivey green color. And let's see. Well, okay. So let's just do like we do. And these Stedlers, see, you put hard pressure and then light pressure, and they'll do a fade. Let's get a yellow color. It's kind of golden. No, it's come too brown. Let's see. These colors are kind of like a muted shade. They're not like this set anyway. They're not like your, what do you call it, colors? Primary. And then let's see, maybe orange or yellow. Here we go. Oh, I didn't do the patches. Were you talking about those? Those were Jane Davenport's patches. If you were talking about those black and white ones that I showed a minute ago, yeah, those were Jane's doodles from one of these books. An old one of those recipe card dividers. Again, vintage stuff. Let's see. There's some more swatches. What were these? Swatches of. Those are. These were the shiny watercolors. I forget. Paul Rubin ones, I think. Yeah, here's the swatches off of them. So and then here, let's do something here. Here's like some music paper, and look at this. The emu and the girl will do like this here. Oh, I don't know. I can't go back and figure out which page you mean, Fran. I'd be going back another 45 minutes. I don't know. I can't tell you. It's too big of a book to go back all the way through. I have no idea how far back it was. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, I don't know that there's much else back in here other than just some more of kind of the same thing. I don't think there's any more swatches back here. Maybe. Vintage wrapping paper. These little girls here are from Patterns. Vintage pattern. Like this is like from the 70s. Look, it's got the gold chain belt. I remember that. And these, look, she's got on these boots or some kind of shoes. But I remember, and I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen these, and I don't even ever think I've ever seen them since. But back in the 70s, and I don't remember if I got them at some shop or if somebody made them for me, and maybe y'all can remember. Let's get something a little bigger here. So what it was, let me just draw a little foot here. Here's some toes. So what it was is it wasn't metal, but it was like thread that was like a metallic thread. And I don't knit and crochet. I mean, I can make I can chain stitch, make some basic stuff, but I don't do anything fancy. But somebody had made me these. They were only like triangles, and they were made out of this mesh, kind of a gold mesh, and they were crocheted, and they had little beads crocheted into them, and they were just for the top of your foot, and then they just had a crocheted string that went around your foot, because we all went barefoot back in the day. So you were still barefoot, but you had shoes on. So it was like, you had to wear shoes, but you weren't wearing shoes. So it only covered up the top of your foot. It was just like a little diaper thing for your top of your foot. And it was like made out of a crocheted metal. And then it had a crocheted string that wrapped around your ankle, and that's what held it on. And a little crochet thing that wrapped around your toe. So you had a little crochet thing around your toe and a crocheted string that went around your ankle. And then this part right here was all crocheted gold metallic with beads in it. Did anybody ever see any of those? Yeah, foot jewelry. There's another vintage girl there. So anyway, this is just a fun book to get out and play in. If I have swatches, if I want to just throw something in here to swatch. All right, here's a watercolor, what do you call it? Smack and Dragon or something. Let's get a purple. Let's see. Because that has some purple in it. Maybe some pink. Well, I'll just go with, maybe orange. Maybe a dark orange. Now it's going to start looking Halloween. And look at this girl right here. 60s, late 60s probably. Let's say late 60s. You had them, Riri? Are you kidding me? Riri had them. Riri had them. Oh, belly dancers wear them. Let me look that up real quick. Wait a minute. I didn't think about that. I bet you're right. They probably originated with belly dancers. Yeah, back in the hippie days, we didn't think about that. Belly dancer. What do I call them? Shoes? What I call them? Shoes? Um, they're not really shoes. Let's just see what happens. Let's let come up. Bye, Fran. Okay, let's get some images here. Well, they're only coming up with like ballet slippers. Well, here's something sort of like it, but these look like they go all the way around your foot. Mine just went on the top, and they didn't have this ankle strap. They just had a strap that went around. And look, these look like little gloves for your toes. Mine didn't go around all your toes. They just went around your big toe. Hang on, I'm skimming here. This is a little similar. I mean, a little bit closer. Oh, here we go. Something like this. Yes. Something like this, but not quite that fancy. Mine was all crocheted. This one's got a lot of jewels in it. Yeah, it was like this. I wore those things all the time. Barefoot sandals, no Bee Gees. Okay, well, mine didn't have all this jewelry in it. They were just like crochet, gold crochet thread. This looks like actual chain, but it was just crochet thread that was stretchy with beads in it. But that's kind of like it. I didn't even think about belly dancer shoes. Thanks, whoever said that. Who's the one that said belly dancer shoes? Was it Riri, the first one? Riri, are you here? Did you leave? Was it Riri? Riri's going to get a Happy Mail for that. Happy Mail. No, I'm not sending you one of these. But I'm going to send you some Happy Mail, Riri, for the idea, because you thought of it. She might have left. Karen said she crocheted them, barefoot sandals. Well, except for that one time in my life, I don't ever remember seeing them anywhere. And it's not like I pay attention to belly dancers' feet, so I just didn't really think about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to close this book up. I wanted to show it to you, though, again, because I showed you the portfolios. If y'all missed the beginning of the show, I showed y'all the portfolios that I made over or the one that I made over the weekend. The other ones I made a couple weeks ago. And where's the little thing I have here? Got one of these to hold it shut because it's a big Mama Jamba book. Then I want to read to you the 1001 Ways to Be Creative for the week. And again, I'll probably work on this the rest of the day. I'm doing an owl, samurai owl. So I'm working on him. And yeah, I think I've shown y'all everything else that I had planned to do today. So I'm going to read a couple pages out of the 1001 Ways to Be Creative, Barbara Ann Kipfer, a little book of everyday inspiration. I just read a couple pages every week. And we're only up to 219, so we're going to be here a while. Oh, no. Oh, that's so sweet. But you know what? You might want to make some of those. You'd probably be a hit with the teenagers. I wore it when I was a teenager. I probably wouldn't wear it now. I just go barefoot. I wouldn't wear them anywhere, but I wore them places back in the day, Juanita. So if you want to take any orders, Juanita, by the way, She Spins is on Instagram. So if you want her to make you some, just she'll have to give you a price on how much she charge. But she may or may not want to do that. I don't know. But if you're willing to buy some, She Spins Juanita may make you some. Find her on Instagram and message her on Instagram and ask her. We're gonna get her in. We're gonna get She Spins in the in the barefoot shoe business. You're welcome, Riri. Okay, so let me read a couple of these here before we go. And don't forget, Janet comes on at 1. If she says something here, I'll click on her name. Janet M. Young comes on at 1. Okay, so we're at 219. Take time for yourself. 220. Volunteer for archaeological digs in your area. Learning about past cultures may spur new ways of looking at the world. Now, up in North Georgia, they do have a place up there where the kids, school kids can go up and be a part of an archaeological dig. So I could actually go find, if they're right now, they're probably not doing it because of the virus, but I would like to go up and do an archaeological dig up in North Georgia. Okay, 221. Design a monument to your hero or heroine. 222. Practice experiencing without thinking. Can you observe without commentary? That would be hard, I think. I would be wanting to write, I'd have my post-it notes writing down. Oh, Karen Sushi said she bought some beaded ones at a beach. So I never see anybody wearing those. I don't see anybody wearing them anymore, but then I don't live on the beach either. Okay. Let's see. Pablo Picasso. It took me a whole lifetime to paint like a child. All right, I'm going to read this other page. Oh, and then let me move the post-it to the next week. All right. So I want to read these. And again, I got this at Tuesday morning for $3.99. My Tuesday morning closed down. But here's the ISBN number if you want to find it on Amazon. 978-142-62-19078. So, and it's, it's really, it's got a lot. It's 1,001 things. Okay. Spend a day documenting all the patterns you see. Now that, believe it or not, is an excellent exercise. I got a lot of ideas when I just did Japanese kimono pattern designs. I did I didn't fill a whole composition book, but I have a composition book around here somewhere where I was doing all the kimono designs that I could find. But it doesn't have to just be a pattern. It can be and try to use this stuff, guys, without going on the internet at first. I mean, like when I tell you to go make lists of, say, transportation, you can go on the internet and just put in transportation and you'll get a whole bunch of lists or pictures. Try to do it yourself. Try to do those kind of things yourself. Make your list, write your ideas down, mind map. Get as much information as you can. Like if you're doing red and you want to write down everything you can think of red. Well, don't just go look up red things on the internet or orange things on the internet. Try to make the list yourself because you're using your own brain and creativity and imagination before you just go look it up and write it down off the internet. That's not using your creativity, Okay. Find 10 things that form a circle and take a photo of each. Perhaps you can frame each circular object. If you don't have patience with current creative projects, try a different one. Creative work comes from passion, not practicality. What photograph most inspires you? Do the activities that energize you. Try going to bed and waking up an hour earlier. What effect does this have on your projects? Draw your favorite outfit. So there's about 10 projects, 10 things to think about this week. Put in your Society of Idea Collector notebook. List them, mind map them, doodle them, draw them. Think of what comes to your mind. And again, don't necessarily have to copy exactly what they're saying, what Barbara Ann Kipfer is saying. What comes to your mind when I say those prompts? Other prompts are going to come to your mind. So you need to write those down. Don't just say, oh, well, she didn't say to do that. Well, okay, Claire, thank you. Everybody's talking about the beach beaded foot cover top. Cover your tops of your foot. Belly dancer shoes. Beaded ones for the beach. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope y'all got some ideas, some inspiration today. I hope I explained enough about how I made those portfolios. Here we go. Oh, let me move this over. I hope I explained enough how I made the portfolio. So if you do decide to make one, and again, you don't have to make them this big. You can make them this size. Make them half size. But it's just fun to have. I like them big because then you can get a lot of stuff in them. You can store a lot of ephemera when they're this big. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Toe thongs, yeah. There you go. They may name them that. They may be called that on Etsy. I've not gone on Etsy to look. You might be able to find them on Etsy. I have no idea. Uh, all right, guys. Thanks. Hi, Linda. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Anybody else that popped in, I appreciate all the chatters, all the lurkers, everybody that's popped in, and I hope you all have a great Monday. We'll see you over at Janet's at in about an hour and 20 minutes Eastern time. If y'all have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments, guys. I know I don't get a lot of comments because everybody comments here live. So I don't get a whole lot of comments, but I want to say hi to E over in the UK, Elizabeth in the UK. She always leaves me nice, encouraging comments all the time, but she's never in chat. So Elizabeth in the UK, I call her E. Thank you so much for all your nice comments. I do appreciate it. Thanks to my mod, Pacola, Janet, and Julie Topaz, and Eileen when she's awake. I think I saw her pop in earlier. Thanks for coming by, Eileen. All right, guys. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.